All right, lads and lasses, and g'day mates. Welcome to another episode of the Tune Under podcast, Southern Hemisphere's #1 podcast for all things Newcastle United. How's everyone doing? How's your Saturday going? It is currently 11:30 at night here in the lucky country of Australia. Been a bit of a long day, I think it's fair to say, Craigie. Yeah, we're going to be doing a live view of the Newcastle against Brighton away game. Second of the season, second game in, second live view already. And there's a few more to come over the next few weeks and months, I think, as well. So we're going to be busy with these things. Keep an eye on those in the future. First of all, a few welcomes, though. Craigie up in Sweaty Cairns. How are you going, mate?
I'm good, mate. You're right. It's been an absolutely long day. Been up since, stupid o'clock in the morning, and it's coming up to stupid o'clock in the morning as well.
It is coming up to stupid o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Yeah. I'm looking forward to this game, though. Mark, you just made it in time, mate.
Just made it.
Mark down over here in Brisbane with me. How are you going, mate?
I'm doing well. Just catch up with the folks in the UK complaining about how hot it is. So,
yes,
yeah, interesting. When I'm literally freezing my tits off here, it's all good.
Mate, it's not that cold. Come on. I mean, it's chilly, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. Our house has got literally zero kind of insulation though. It gets really hot, really cold. But I've got my Guinness ready for the match, so it's all good.
Cheers to that. You haven't got your stubby holder, so that's nil points for you.
Yeah, that's downstairs.
That's just terrible, mate. Absolutely terrible. Craig, tell them off.
That's not wrong, man. You got to get it. Can't get it.
Shocking.
No, it's all good.
All right. So today is an away game, as I've mentioned already, to Brighton at the Falmer Stadium. I don't know if you knew that, but it's called the Falmer Stadium. That's its real name.
Is it?
Also known as the American Express Community Stadium. But most people know it as the Amex because nobody's got time to say all that. Last time out, in the Premier League, Brighton won 2-1 away to Man United. Pretty impressive performance at Old Trafford there. And of course, Newcastle won 2-0 at home against newly promoted Nottingham Forest. For Brighton, for their game, midfielder Pascal Gross scored with both goals. And they were pegged a little bit back in the second half. And Newcastle basically never looked like they were going to lose that game. It did take them to the second half to start scoring some goals, but yeah, I mean, via a thunder bastard from Shaw and that lovely chip by Wilson, which I think is going to go under the radar as probably one of the best goals of the season. But it was a very comfortable win for Newcastle against Forest. So we are away today. This is our first away game of the season, of course. A few stats for you. Brighton have never lost to Newcastle in their 5 home Premier League games. But, you know, records like that, they're just sitting there waiting to get broken, aren't they? Last time we met each other, it was at St James's Park and Newcastle won 2-1. That was in March. And if we win today, this would be the first consecutive double over Brighton since 2016-2017 championship season. Brighton have lost just one game in their last 10 league fixtures, including wins, of course, at Man United, also Spurs and Arsenal. And that loss came against, no prizes for guessing, Man City. With all that said, though, Brighton have had the 5th worst home record in the Premier League last season. They won 5, drew 7, and lost 7. A few more to go. Newcastle have the 4th highest points return in 2022, behind City, Pool, and Spurs. We won 5 away games last season, which is our best tally since we won 7 in 2013. So, you know, we're not the greatest on the road. If we win today, it'll be the first time since 97-98 that we've won the first 2 opening fixtures of the new season. With that said, though, we have only won 1 in the last 10 opening away games, and in 8 of those, we didn't even score a single bloody goal. So interesting, isn't it? There's a few things stats to change, I think, in this game with any luck. So let's have a look at the teams in. I'll read these out. So the lineup for Brighton. Home team first is Sanchez in goal. Then it's Webster, Dunk, March, and Mac Allister. Then it's Trossard, Gross, Lallana, Welbeck, Casido. I assume that's how you say that, and Veltman. And for Newcastle, it is Nick Pope, who has destroyed internet today on the old Twitter there. Kieran Trippier with the captain's armband, then it's Fabian Shaw, Sven Botman, Dan Burn, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Willock, Big Joe Linton, Miguel Almiron, ASM, and Callum Wilson. So there's a few things to discuss on that Newcastle team. But first of all, let's look at Brighton. They've only got one long-term absentee to Moda, but otherwise they are fully fit. And this is, I think, an unchanged team from last season. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there. Craig, first thing I'm going to point out here, there's no Neil Maupay in this squad. Now, that's a bit of breaking news that came out today. He's actually being linked to Forest for a fee of around 50 million. Everyone seems to just want to go to Forest now. They're just hoovering up all these players. Now, yeah, Craig, you're a bit of an admirer of Maupay, aren't you? And we've had conversations where you've thought about Newcastle should go in for him and bring him in. So what are Brighton going to miss with him not being in today? And is that going to help us, or has he not even been playing much in the Brighton team lately anyways? Is it really going to make no difference, do you think?
Well, he fizzled out at the start of last season. The last few games, he rarely featured, the odd cameo from the bench, that type of thing. And he was an unused sub against Man United. So he hasn't featured that much. He is a player that I admire. You're absolutely right on that one. Back in December of last year, I think it was just as Wilson got injured, there was talk of what striker could we bring in. And Maupay would have been my choice over Wood. I do think he's just got that little bit more about him in terms of his presence on the pitch for how he can play, a bit more mobile. Is he going to be somebody that Brighton are going to miss? Probably not, considering how little game time he's had recently. He should be a good addition to Forest. He's got the Premier League experience. His goal record isn't that great. But again, his game time has slipped down a little bit. But now he'll be a good addition to them. But yeah, I don't think Brighton are going to be losing too much in that aspect.
Fair enough. And Mark, it's an established team now, isn't it, Brighton? And they've also got a settled team, which I think is certainly into their favour. Who in that team really gives you the shits for going into this game? Who do you think their main attacking threats are going to be? And do you think Newcastle can get around them and give the back four a bit of trouble?
Oh, look, I think where most people are in agreement that Brighton have kind of given everything sort of towards this established approach. We've basically poached the director of football because he's done such a fantastic job of lining everything up. I fully agree with Dexter there. The fact Lamptey isn't starting, I actually do really rate Lamptey in terms of an attacking threat. Seeing him on the bench, hopefully we've got enough to cover him when he comes on and we're not sort of chasing around with tired legs. That could be the only thing that I think for me would be potentially the slipping point. Is they've got a very deep squad. They haven't got these superstar players, but they just seem to have everything covered and they all know their jobs and they're playing this kind of progressive type football with their manager. So for me, it's a nice squad. It's a team that I feel we're probably up against in terms of those top 10, top 8 positions. I think this is a yardstick game for us. If we win this, then I think we're going into the season knowing that we're probably up there competing for those sorts of spots. It's never going to be easy down at Brighton either. They are very good at home, but they've just got a very good side. I mean, they've lost a few players, but they've got these players ready to come in, or they're replacing players before they're actually sold off. Fantastic sort of model for a club that doesn't have these unlimited finances. So for that side of things, from what we've got with Dan Ashworth on board. If he sort of gets this sort of level of continuity in the club, then we're in for a great treat, because we should hopefully have more finances behind us so we can afford to keep hold of those better players. We can have this conveyor belt. We can attract better quality to start with. It's only got to be good for us.
No, absolutely. It's a very well run club. And they take the long term on these things, don't they?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can start doing that, as you say. And I think there's early signs of that already with some of the signings that we've been making for the under-21s in particular, where it looks like we're starting to bring in talent at a younger age, probably with an eye to either bring them through to the first team, or if that doesn't get that far, we'll probably flog them off to some other team and get some money for them. It's I think that's Dan Nashworth's influence already starting to take hold at Newcastle United. I will say as well that I'm as much as you're a fan of Maupay, Craig, I'm a full-on 100% fan of Trossard. I think he's an absolutely tremendous player. He was a bee in the bonnet for Man United last week. He was basically all the danger that was down the left. I think it was coming via his good work. We're going to have to be very careful about him. I think Trippier. I think if I'm getting my formations right, I think it's Trippier who's going to be facing up against them.
It is.
And he's going to have to be on his toes, and we're going to need some defense from the midfield as well to help out, because he's a very good player. He's got a hell of a shot on him as well. And Welbeck as well. He's apparently staying fit these days. I heard Graham Potter saying that he's had a number of injuries as Welbeck, but he's now at the stage now where he's basically 100% fit. And he's a very good player. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves half the time, but I think he's a very, very good player, Welbeck, when he's on his day, Let's hope it's not today, though. Let's have a look at Newcastle then, because there's something we need to talk about here. Now, I think probably you can take from this formation and the fact that Botman's in the middle there and Dan Burns on the wing, that this probably would have been an unchanged team from last week if it wasn't for the fact that Matt Targett has picked up an injury. It was kind of announced a bit late today, I think. And so he's been swapped out, and Sven Botman's came in. I think probably that's sooner than Eddie Howe would have liked to have given him a start. Just by the way, Eddie Howe does things like that, and he normally likes to bed these players in a bit more. But Botman's came in for his first start, only the second game of the season, and Dan Burns been moved out to the wing in place of where Targett would have been. Now, Craig, you watched the friendly, the preseason friendly where I think it was Benfica got around Dan Burn.
Correct.
Yes, we were pushed high up the field, and the young lad, I forget his name now, was kind of a little bit out of position.
Bondswell.
Yeah, and Dan Burn had to cut across to try and cut out an attacking wing down the flank, and he was basically just completely skinned, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was done for pace.
He was. Are we going to be concerned by this today against a pretty mobile Brighton team?
We could very well be. It'll be interesting to see how they line up and whether the Target Burn from the off, which I'd imagine you would do because it's not his natural position, although he has played there before. But yeah, when we played Benfica for their winning goal, he was just skinned too easy on that far left-hand side. Hopefully he's going to get a bit more cover. I would personally, for cover-wise, I'd swap ASM for Miggy and have Miggy on the left, just to give him a bit more protection if I have to. We know what ASM's defensive capabilities are. They're not great, but he's a well-seasoned professional, so hopefully he can put in a decent performance in his unnatural position.
He's going to have to, isn't he? And Mark, same question really. Do you think we should be concerned with Dan Burn, kind of not particularly mobile centre defence on the wing, and also how about Botman? Do you think he's ready for a start?
I think Botman, we've paid enough for him. I think you're kind of wanting to slot him in when you can. Let's be honest, it's like he needs to get game time sooner rather than later. I mean, for us, this is a growth season. So if we drop a few points here and there, it's probably not the end of the world if we're getting these players ready and building the squad forward. The Dan Burn thing, look, I mean, yeah, would we prefer to have Matty Targett there? Yeah, sure, but everyone was raving last season when we picked up Dan Burn that, oh, no, he's played left back before. We can play left back if he needs to. So, stick him in there. That's what we've got him for his versatility as well. Now, I'd be interested to see what kind of cover he had from midfield in the game where he was being exposed against Benfica. Because if you think about it, if we didn't have the likes of Joe Linton and Guimaraes and a few of these others like that are going to control the ball a lot more, they're going to track back, they're going to win the ball back, then maybe that's kind of a little bit to do with why he was being exposed as well. I mean, he's not the fastest, he's not going to have the biggest, the best turning circle in the world for a big man like that, but he looks assured when things are functioning well. So it's probably a case of defending as a back four and getting help from midfield, rather than just expecting him to be this one-man defensive wall, because I don't think any of our players are like that at the moment. They're definitely defending like as a team, pushing up high. Hopefully we can actually sort of put Brighton on the back foot more than what we have. So we'll see what happens.
And Craig, we have 2 fullbacks on the bench actually. That's got to be the first time in a while. We've got we've got Manquillo and we've got Dummett. I was going to say we've got 3 if you count Richie.
No, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Why is this just Eddie Howe playing his best players, even though Dan Burn is somewhat out of position, or is it because he's playing against Brighton and he might have a kind of an extra spring in his step, or is there any other reasons you can think of why he might not have? I mean, obviously Dummett hasn't played much; he's been injured for a bit, so you can suspect he might not be fully fit. And Manquillo also hasn't been playing very much either. But I don't think he's been injured though. So this is just a case that Dan Burn is still the better choice over the 2 natural fullbacks.
You'd like to think so, and he's going to have a lot less rust. As I said, Dummett hasn't featured much. Manquillo didn't feature at all in pre-season. I think he spent most of it in Spain, where he was doing some type of recovery or he had surgery. Not 100% sure. But in terms of sharpness and fitness, I think Dan Burn is the natural choice. And Jay's just put on here, looks like Matt Target has a dead leg. So that could maybe excuse why he's not in the squad today. We used to give a run out of those in school like there's no tomorrow, dead legs, and you're absolutely fine half an hour later.
I didn't know that lasted a week. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely in terms of match sharpness and fitness, I'd say Burn's the right choice.
Would you go with that one as well, Mark?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think playing Manquillo on the left after not having any games in preseason is necessarily a good idea. I think that's just as dangerous as playing Dan Burn, who was pretty assured against Nottingham Forest. So, play the one that's been in supposedly better form at the moment.
Even though he's not in his natural position?
No, well, as I said, he's everyone was raving that he could play left back if we needed him to. So let's see how that goes today.
No, we were absolutely desperate at that point, though. We were kind of looking for reasons to sign somebody. Fair enough. Oh, Newcastle do have other injuries, of course. Shelvey is still out and he's going to be out for another 3 months, I think I read. Or is it 3 months in total? I can't remember. But he's only just recently had a operation, so he's going to be out for some time yet. And apparently Kraft, Lewis and Feddy are approaching fitness, but not quite right for today. I'm not sure when they're going to be ready, but they're getting there. While, as you can see on the bench there, Lascelles has been past fit for this game, and who knows, we might end up seeing him in the second half. God, I hope not, because that's not going to be a good sign, is it?
No.
All right, just something else I wanted to touch on as well, just before we move on. Have you heard the news that Newcastle are going to be playing this game in essentially their training kit with a sponsor across the front?
Yeah.
Now, look, all right, so Brighton are at home, so they're going to be playing in blue and white stripes. We'll be normally in black and white stripes. There goes the bloody fire engines again. Beirut, downtown Beirut. We'll be in black and white stripes. That's an obvious clash. You kind of have that. So you think, right, second strip, that's all blue. And Brighton are kind of, I don't know, 50% blue. So that you can understand why they don't use the blue either. But we have a third strip, the controversial, the infamous Saudi strip, right? Which is there presumably for situations where the chain strip doesn't work, and also in Europe and stuff like that. Well, not Europe, but the cups. So does anyone, Craig, will come to you first. Do you have any theories as to why they haven't just went with the Saudi strip? Is it just too controversial, or is there some other reason they're using the train outfit?
I think there's too much white in the Brighton kit for it to be considered maybe a clash. I don't know. But I can't understand why Brighton couldn't have worn one of their change kits and we wear our home shirt and we do the reverse at St James's Park.
No, well, there'll probably be some stupid superstition thing, like, and they're at home and home teams always want to play in the home strips, blah, blah, blah. Mark, any thoughts?
Jay's literally just pointed out, apparently it's some sort of colorblind sort of clash or something like that. That'd be interesting if that's what it's for. But you would think that an all white strip would stand out against a blue and white stripe. It's like a dark blue and white stripe. But look, I mean, everyone sort of bitched and moaned that, oh, well, why have we got a fourth strip? And then it's sold out in record time. So clearly the fans are on board with it. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, I actually like the strip. I know you're a little bit skeptical, Lee, but I actually think it's a pretty good design.
I think from a designer's perspective, it's a really weak treatment. No, I mean, if you look at it closely, they've used basically 3 landmarks and they've just like duplicated over and over again with an increase in opacity or decrease in opacity. It's like, how lads, man? How look at me. I mean, look, I'm talking here with my bloody Tune Under podcast shirt, man. Look at that. Designed by my own
the brand, mate. Repping the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the back of
put yourself forward for the Castor designer for the future kits, are you?
No, well, I mean, if I did, I mean, this shirt's not going to fall off my shoulders for a start, so it's definitely not going to be, it's not going to be Castor. And the words aren't missing, and the fucking badge isn't badly stitched or anything. God, the Castor, what a nightmare. All right, so just a few more things to talk about. It is currently 9 or 8 minutes to go before kickoff, so a few more things I want to go through. I think both teams are going to probably be going into this game with a bit of a feel-good factor. I was thinking about this before. Brighton unbeaten in 10, except that one kind of game against City, which nobody ever wins. And that brilliant game that they won against Man United just out there last weekend. So they're going to be flying high. They're at home as well, so it's the first home game of the season. All the bloody happy clappers are going to be out onto those fucking horrible cardboard bloody clapper things. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So they're going to be up for it. They're going to be buzzing. Newcastle, obviously, the same reasons. We've got a few new signings. We've got everything behind us. Wall flags, Nick Pope. It's going to be interesting to see. Just like I imagine it'll be a decent atmosphere, and I'm kind of wondering. I'm interested to see who's going to handle that kind of occasion. I think it might be a bit of an occasion to this, even though it's not like one of the big teams or whatever. I think it's 2 teams that are probably in about the same position right now in the league, as far as squads, effect and ability and to win a game and so on, and all the feelings of the fans. And Mark, just on a different subject though, we know that Brighton like to keep the ball on the ground. They like to move it around. They like to move it side to side, back and forwards. Like to probe the opposition for an opening. They don't usually give the ball away an awful lot. Are we going to be expecting anything different from them today, do you think? Perhaps another kind of unorthodox formation that they might sort of roll out like they did last week? Is it going to be the same formation that we had 3-3-3, 1 to the side kind of formation, whatever that was?
Yeah, I saw that formation. I'm guessing we're not going to be seeing any bizarre corners where there's not a single opposition player in the box for it. But let's wait and see how that one goes. Looks a gorgeous day, by the way. It's the coverage has just started. Looks a beautiful day down in Brighton.
I'll touch on that in a minute.
Look, I mean, I think Brighton are what they are. They have a very good way of playing football. I think Eddie Howe and Potter are probably 2 of the best up-and-coming managers in the country at the moment, English managers. They're proving themselves on the big stage, getting very little credit considering how much everyone's focused on Lampard and Gerrard because of their playing careers. Neither of them doing especially well with the footballing side of it for the manager side. But look, I think you'll get that regular play style off Brighton. I don't expect them to be doing anything majorly different unless things don't go right for them, and then they might try and change stuff up. But look, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? So they'll be looking to build on theirs, and we'll be looking to build on ours, and it's probably going to be a battle in midfield, to be honest, to see who can actually control possession.
Yeah, well, that's the next thing I want to come on to. It looks like the players are just about ready to line up in the tunnels here. Craig, so if we do assume that Brighton are going to try and pass it around us and through us and keep possession away from us, who do you think our key men are going to be in the Newcastle squad? Let's just get that back up again to really stop that from happening and to get us on the ball primarily. And can we take some comfort from the low 35% possession that they had against Man United? And I'm surprised by that number, by the way, because I watched them first half and they were all over Man United. So I didn't see the second half, but it must have completely turned in the second half. So they only had 35 possession in total, if I'm not mistaken about that. So can we take some comfort from that? The fact that you can get the ball off them, you can keep them at arm's length and maybe, progress your own game?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've got every bit of faith in Bruno and Big Joe. They can dominate midfields this season, I reckon. They've got a great understanding. It's something that just seemed to naturally click with them when Bruno first came in, albeit he was phased into the squad slowly. But yeah, I just think those two, they're going to have too much needle about them, too much tenacity. They'll get in the face. Man United, they're a team previously anyway that have just sat back and let teams come at them, whereas I can't see Bruno and Big Joe let that happen. They'll try to get in there in the first tackle. They'll try not let them cross the halfway line if they absolutely have to. And I think, if anything, they may be trying to get a few balls over the top just to try and get away from those two. As much as we want the ball to be played on the floor, I think that's going to be our tactic. But if they want to try and break our midfield, they may have to try just a few over the top.
All right, let's hope that's the case. Yeah,
I think the one thing for me is with our height, I really hope if we get some corners, we don't start doing these short corner routines like we did last week. We've got like Botman, Burn, Shah, all going into the box. Get Trippier on the ball and just try and get some balls on heads. That would be my only thing from last week. That if we can sort of try and just get the normal set pieces in, but we'll wait and see how that goes.
Let's get some balls on heads. Did you just say? All right, so Mark's not got a comment on that one. It is a beautiful day down the south coast there. The teams are just walking out. Apparently, it's forecast to be a 32-degree day at kickoff. So 32 degrees down on the south coast there. And apparently, there are going to be drink breaks through each of these halves. Yeah, so that's been authorized, if you like, if you put it that way. So we'll have to see how much that disrupts the games and the flow, and if it gives the chance for each teams to change, tactics and how they're approaching the game. The referee for this one is Graham Scott. Last seen taking charge of our 2-1 loss, at Wolves in October 2021. And for VAR, it is Craig Pawson. Anybody have anything else to say before we get into the commentary? The teams are just shaking hands and all that stuff that they do.
Just want to say, I'll read to my 86 who's watching us from South Korea. Nice one, mate.
South Korea.
Nice. Let us know in the comments where you're all watching from around the world. It's nice to know where people are tuning in from.
That's class that more. Nice one. Thank you very much. So we're just going through the team lineups here. By the way, if anyone actually watches the Premier League or Optus Sport over here in Australia, keep your eyes open because our old man Dimmy is going to be featured in one of their pieces. We've actually seen the video ourselves. It's absolutely brilliant. He's in there in his black and white shirt and his luxurious palace of a hotel in Greece. But he tells the story of how he's flown across from Australia to Greece for a honeymoon, and then it goes from there to Newcastle, and then in the space of 24 hours he's back down to Heathrow and across back over to Greece. And you'll have to tune in to find out if he's still married or not. But it's a wonderful little piece there, and he does a cracking call out for the Tune On the podcast as well. He's like, blah 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 blah, Tune On the podcast. Podcast. It's brilliant. All right, so we are just a few minutes away from kickoff here. 40 seconds away, give or take.
We've got people in Chelsea. Is that Newcastle, Australia, or a Newcastle, proper Newcastle, the real Newcastle?
Proper Newcastle.
There's only one Newcastle, man, away.
There is it should be. What's everyone's predictions? Let me know in the comments as well. I went for a 2-0 win. Lee, you went for a 2-2 draw, as did you, Mark.
2-2.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm going for 2-2. I think it's going to be a tight game.
It could be
I hope I'm wrong and we win 2-1.
And Chelsea's confirmed she is from the proper Newcastle.
Proper Newcastle, get in, Chelsea.
Nice one.
Called Chelsea in Newcastle. Should be called like Gosforth or something.
Walton Park.
Yeah, my name's Gosforth.
Mo's gone for a 2-2 or a 2-1 win. There's a lot of apprehension about this game, to be honest. A lot of people unsure how it's going to go. I think it's two evenly balanced sides, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Both sides are like playing well, and they're on the up. They're probably going to be competing against each other for that that top 8 sort of spot. Really, I mean, they're kind of like that little chasing pack behind the top clubs at the moment. I think, hopefully, anyway. We'll see after today, I guess.
So Brighton's formation was down as a 3-4-2-1.
3-4-2.
It's like a
Yeah,
reverse
so
Christmas
it's going to
tree.
be a packed midfield, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well,
Come on,
Here we
I'll
go.
kick you
Newcastle
off.
won the toss. Taken from right to left. Tell you what, those people in that stadium, in that stand in the full sun, are going to be absolutely baked. Quite a few empty seats, actually. Anyway, it's with Newcastle's with Miggy. Just over the halfway line, he's giving the ball away. Good lord. But Bruno's picked it up. First touch for Dan Burn. No booze.
I think he left with pretty good good feelings from the fans, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if we get to the match winner today, though, that might change.
Oh, he'll not be allowed back. So it's Newcastle with some early possession here. There's been a bit of a turnover, but ASM, nice to see ASM actually chasing up there and getting the ball back. And Joel Linton with a nice dink over his man, and it's out for a throw in the just in line with the 18-yard box on Brighton's half.
Dan Burn to take the throw in.
Yeah, Dex raises a good point. We've definitely got a much improved side out since the last time we played them.
Yeah, didn't we have something like a Fraser? No, it's not Fraser. Sorry, Murphy at right back, Crafton central defence alongside Clark and Lascelles.
Yeah,
and Richie at right back, at left back.
Richie left back. Yeah, he's on the bench in case we need him for there again. Let's hope it doesn't get to that.
No.
Anywhere else on the pitch, I'd rather have him in goal than at right back.
More.
Bit of a scrappy affair so far.
All right, so goal kick to Brighton. I don't know whose streams further than who else's, but it's just turning 2 minutes on mine.
Yeah, I think I'm slightly ahead.
2:13 for me.
Yeah. So the ball was with Pope. He's just also going to take roll it out to Botman and just back to Pope on that one. And he just kicked it straight up the pitch. Now just over the halfway line, aim for Wilson, and it's just going to roll through to Sanchez, who comes out to now just hoofed it straight back down. Nothing exciting happening so far. It's just end-to-end stuff, keeper to keeper, but no real action in between. Both teams trying to find a little bit of a foothold in the game so far. And again, Pope just kicks it long up to Wilson. I think that's maybe going to be key to trying to avoid their midfield from the keeper. Not playing it short like we normally do with Dubravka with a rollout.
Yeah, but you don't be hoofing it though because you lose position too easy.
Yeah.
Right, I'm on 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Will do. Right, so it's balls with Brighton. On the right wing, our left, found a lot of space to Trossard on our right. He's moving across the box. He takes a shot. It's deflected, and it goes behind for a corner by the things. Yeah, Trossard, man, good play.
Is he better than ASM though? His overall game?
Different kind of play altogether, really, aren't they?
Yeah. If you had to have one or two in your squad, who would you pick?
I'm going to say Trossard just because I think he's got a better all-round game.
Fair enough.
Does, but ASM has the ability to just carry the ball and relieve pressure. I don't really think Trossard's that kind of player.
No, he's not going to take players on like Maxi does.
He's not going to take players on. Well, no, I mean, I think he does, but I don't think it's quite as...
Not quite in the same way.
No, exactly. So here comes the corner from Brighton. Everyone's in the box this time. And it's
that's away.
Headed out fairly easily. Brighton still have it. Out on our right. Down the line to cut across to the middle. And ASM's been caught napping.
Oh.
Brighton take a shot and defend
just
by
I called him out
Botman
on it.
Out for a corner. Yeah. ASM kind of waiting for the ball to come to him there, really, wasn't he? And then the Brighton player just cut inside him.
Botman doing Botman things though. That's all what we want to see. Nice assured defense straight up from him.
Yeah,
First
I hate
game,
when
first
players
start.
turn their heads though. That always does my tits in. You know, they're gonna bland. Just get bland. You know.
Ours is on. Mine's on 4 minutes 58 at the
Yeah, same for
moment.
me. So here comes the corner.
5:05 for me.
Oh, go to hell! And it's right in the middle. It's up in the air, and Newcastle under some early pressure here. Still down our wing, down our left wing, in line with the penalty box, in keeper's box rather. And it's another corner. This is a bit like Newcastle against Forest. This just corner after corner after corner. This is the third corner in concession here. Succession.
Yeah, we just want it. We want it back the other way around, though.
We
We
do.
can't get our feet on the ball. This is the problem.
Nah.
Come on.
5
I
minutes
don't
forward,
understand
third
having two
corner.
people on the same corner. I don't get that.
It's just a guess. Keep people guessing thing.
Waste everybody in the box.
Ball in the box, cleared by Big Dan Burn. And Brighton
Hey,
have
nice
it.
tackle, Maxi.
Beautifully recovered from Brighton by Maxi. And Newcastle on the break here, heading towards halfway line. Maxi's out in the wing in support. Miggy's got the ball. He spreads it to ASM. Almost passed it behind him. Bloody hell. ASM switch of play. Beautiful ball
up.
to Trippier, I suppose. And then that's gone down the line to Willock, but it hasn't reached him. But the clearance has come to Joe Linton, who's recycled to Trippier. It's now Willock again. There's a blue balloon bouncing around on the pitch there. The shades of Sunderland when they scored that goal because there was a beach ball on the pitch. Remember that one?
It was Darren
That's
Bent against
hilarious.
Liverpool, wasn't it?
I can't remember
Yeah.
the details. I just remember it being like ridiculous. Here comes Newcastle's throw in. So it's just in line with the box. And Joe Linton looks like he tried to do a clever back flip kick thing, and it's just went straight past him out to play for goal kick to Brighton. 7 minutes in. Pretty much all Brighton so far, would you agree?
Yeah.
We-
We've had a few sloppy passes. Trippier again, a misplaced pass, continuing his form from last week, which is
Yes,
very
he was.
unlike Trippier, to be honest.
He was very loose with the ball last week, wasn't he?
Yeah. You get a bit more foothold, maybe get the odd tackle and ruffle them up a bit.
look, I think they're always going to be up for it at the beginning of this game. Brighton on the
So here's
attack.
Brighton down our right. Trossard's on the ball. It's being marked by Trippier. Trossard's trying to be clever with the ball. He's found a bit of space to whip it on his left foot. Easily defended. And Willock got a nice pass to Miggy, who loses the ball pretty quickly. And Newcastle are really struggling to get the ball out of their own half here. Never mind their own half, out of their own bloody box.
Oh, come
But
on.
Brighton have lost the ball there.
Get him, Maxi.
Bruno with a tackle. ASM's carrying it through their half. He's tackled.
That was a hell of a tackle.
He
It
loses
was.
the ball. It was a very good tackle. And now Brighton are returning. Already into Newcastle's half, down our left. Newcastle's yet to really impose the game on this fixture. Brighton smothered cross, and it doesn't go off for corner this time. Bruno on the ball. Does beautifully well, and Newcastle play it out.
Very nice.
And it's now with
Up to
Wilson into Brighton's half. He only has ASM up on support. He's got 3 defenders in front of him. Now got 4. It's with ASM on the wing. He's looking for options. Doesn't have a lot. Here comes Miggy. Miggy played the ball into Wilson. Wilson was being well watched by a defender, and the defender just steps up and takes the ball away. And here come Brighton back into Newcastle's half. It's a bit kind of open at the minute. It's a bit end to end.
Yeah, Brighton look really up for this, though, I have to say.
They do.
Do
It's to be expected. I think they're still butthurt, to be honest, though, off the Army's goal from a few years back. They just want revenge on that.
Nothing's
The
ever going to
greatest
beat
goal
that goal.
scored. It was genuinely the greatest fluky goal ever. In terms of fluky goal, it was better than Bergkamp's against us all those years back.
fluke. Yeah,
The
that was definitely-
replay of that tackle on Wilson, and that looks like he went through the back of him. That should
It
have been
did,
a free
actually.
kick.
Yeah.
That should have been a free kick.
The ref was in a good spot as well.
got away with that one. home advantage.
Still 0-0 in all the other games that are being played at the moment.
Getting second of every ball here. A little bit better. Bruno's just been taken out. And good tackle from Botman out the pitch. Refused it into Wilson.
Oh, nice.
There's on ASM on the left. About maybe 25 yards out. Matches a few step overs, squares it across, no one there. Unlucky.
Yeah, he squared it into a pretty good position just in front of in your box in the centre. But I don't think he looked before he did it. I think he just squared it, hoping there'd be someone there.
Yeah. But shows good
in
intent.
fairness,
He seems up for it.
They need to start and put the ball so Maxi can run onto it. It's like the couple of balls now that have been played to him have been actually behind him. He's had to stop and he's lost his momentum.
Yeah, he's getting fed a lot of balls by Miggy.
Yeah, that ball from Miggy earlier on, I wonder if he could have played it earlier just to keep the momentum going.
Miggy keeps hold the ball too long, and so does ASM for that matter.
Joe Linton having a bit of argy-bargy in midfield.
Calm down, Joe. Calm down. Don't want to repeat of Benfica.
Ball back and play in Newcastle's half, tight down the left wing, and it's been spread out to the middle. It's going to move to the right wing, I'd imagine, by Brighton. And Newcastle just stand off a little bit here. And Brighton try to move it down the wing and just kick it straight out. You can do that more often. But what do you think about teams that just sit off players like Brighton players and they just kind of let them hold the ball and decide what they're going to do next and kind of they put everything in front of them, just let them sort of decide what they're going to do?
We kind of did that last season with them, though. They had loads of possession and did nothing with it because we just basically sat there and soaked up the pressure. So if they want to do that again, I'm happy for it and come away with the same result.
Well, if we come with the same result, yeah, but you're always at risk of allowing them far too much time and space to do what they want. But I always kind of wonder, why don't we just get tighter, you know? And I know they can sometimes play around you and they don't want that, but you want to pressure them into mistakes. I always think you should pressure these teams into mistakes. See how they play without the ball, you know? Miggy going down there like a fucking Olympic swimmer with a massive scream. Wins a free kick.
He's on a golden in the earlier game, though. Jesus Christ.
So this is a dangerous position. This will probably be Kieran Trippier taking. This is down our right. No, it won't be Trippier. Down our right. No, it will be Trippier. It's just inside the edge of the box. Down the right wing. All our big boys are
goal his first game.
Yeah, I called it. If you start, he gets a debut goal.
Here comes Trippier. Oof. Defended the first man. Sam has it at the back stick and into the box. He chips it in towards Wilson, doesn't make it. And
could he have taken that first time? Oh,
maybe.
No, the ball's lofted back in. Big space to
it's in.
Wilson here. He's lobbed it.
Oh my God! It's been chalked off.
He's scored a goal, but the whistle has gone. You can hear the whistle.
What's that been chalked off for?
I don't know. Well, VAR should take a look at it at least anyway.
It's in the goal, so it should have a VAR, yeah.
High foot.
High boot.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it was quite high.
He's got more.
He touches the ball there.
That one. This one here. I tell you what, that's... I don't know if...
VAR should look at that.
Presumably VAR's looking at it.
That's harsh, that.
Ball back.
You'll remember the assault on Sean Longstaff a few years ago when he got booted in the face, and that wasn't a high tackle. We never get any of those.
But what's the difference between that as a high boot and someone doing a bicycle kick overhead?
I don't know. I think it's nice play by Miggy.
Miggy's just skinned his man with a little bit of Beardsley there. He's run into space down their box in the half. It's with Bruno in the middle. He spreads it wide to ASM. He had an overlap. He couldn't reach it, and ASM was off the ball. Tried to do a no-look reverse. Didn't make it. Didn't look. Joe Linton trying to break up play there, but Brighton still maintained the ball. And
we got it back.
They've actually managed to head it out. So it's Newcastle throwing just on the halfway line.
I think we can all relate with Daniel there. We're all a bit knackered in the morning after these midnight kickoffs.
Yeah, damn man, try commentating at the same time. Ugh. But bung sinuses as well, to boot. It's balls with Newcastle anyway, halfway line. Miggy on the ball. He's looking for options. Doesn't have a great deal going on. Still with Newcastle. First 15 minutes in, would you say Newcastle are starting to find the feet a little bit?
Yeah.
Of course, I say that, we're just going to pick straight out, don't I?
I still don't understand that goal that got disallowed, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it was high foot, but the ball was there to be played. Wasn't if you just want to try and chop his head off or anything. But we definitely have the better chance now.
The thing about those ones as well is that the other opposition ball always has to put his head in the way of the foot as well. He's going for the ball, so he has to put his head in the danger zone just as much as, Bliss is putting his foot there as well. It's like almost a 50-50, but get kicked in the face.
Yeah, it's called football for a reason.
Yeah. It's a very valid point, that, Mark.
Brighton have a throw in middle of the box, Newcastle's half, down our left.
Yeah, Daniel, I do agree. ASM's definitely trying harder off the ball. It's actually really good to see him try and pass more. He needs to get his head up a little bit more and be a little bit more assured about where he's passing it to. But he's definitely looking to improve his game, and I think credit to Eddie Howe for getting him to do that as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. I want to see more product still, but you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? Joe Linton looks a bit angry, doesn't he? Today,
he always does.
Yeah, but like he's annoyed at something already.
It's his process for getting himself psyched up for the match, apparently.
Right. Fair enough. All right, so it's a throw into Brighton, just inside Newcastle's half down the left wing. They go backwards. And it's a long ball down the wing to absolutely nobody.
Straight out. Yeah, straight out for a goal kick.
Quite un-Brighton like that, isn't it? And Lewis Dunk there.
You play them all day long if they want to.
Yeah, maybe they are just trying to bypass our midfield.
Could be. Lewis Dunk's got a hell of a conk on him, like you see it. Like conkled. Right.
He's almost as like Pope's front teeth. Big Freddie Mercury gums.
Eddie Howe. So here's Pope with a goal kick. It's long. It's eventually found its way back into touch for Newcastle throw. I think Miggy went down heavy there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think he ran
into like a fair hip and shoulder from the Aussie rules.
Away for Specky. I think I just heard a commentator say that they reckon Pope's going to be number one for England.
Wouldn't put it against him. He's probably better than old T-Rex arms. He's certainly got better decision making. Maybe Pickford has got the better shot stopping ability, but in terms of decision making, Pope easily.
Well, on the flip side, Pickford's got a lot of pedigree behind him now with the England squad, hasn't he? He's got a lot of experience in the big matches. Got to the championship final. How many times has Pope played in goal? I don't think he's played too much, has he? For England.
He's got six caps or something.
Yeah.
He's certainly not prolific in the England squad, that's for sure.
Yeah, a bit of head tennis in midfield at the moment, not really going anywhere fast for either team.
Yeah, the ball's just been bouncing around back and forwards here. It's currently with Brighton's keeper. Yeah, commentators just said what I was about to say. That it's really slowed down a lot. I suspect that's got something to do with the heat.
Yeah, you'd think that'll play a factor. Man City are 1-0 up against Bournemouth, if anyone's interested.
We'll do some roundup around the grounds at half-time. I don't suppose any matches really matter to us right now, do they?
Nah.
Just for the fantasy football.
Yeah. I made sure there was no Bournemouth players in my team, that's for sure. Who scored it? Was it the Haaland?
I don't know. It
Ooh,
hasn't actually brought up the scorer.
Brighton have skinned our defence here. They're in space. There's 3 against 3 here. It's Trossard. He takes across, and Pope blocked it initially. It came loose to Danny Welbeck, who probably wasn't expecting it. And Pope was just about able to get his hands back on it. That was a bloody that was
just like kind of like
moment there,
poked it out from where Welbeck was to like then run onto it. Holy crap, that was not good.
No.
And Newcastle have got a free kick here, and there was derisions from the crowd there because Big Joe went in with a header, and I think the crowd were expecting a bit of a free kick to them. Referee played on, and then Newcastle got a free kick as a result. Trippier got skinned by Trossard there.
Yeah, that's a bad decision made by Trippier there.
Yeah, he moved too far up, didn't he? Trossard's got a bit of a limp, I think.
Okay.
So it's a free kick to Newcastle just inside the box, slightly on our left. Trippier's taking that, I think. Into the middle. Easy for the keeper, that. See coming a mile off.
Too predictable.
20 more minutes. 20 more minutes. Still pretty much even, Stevens would say. Newcastle have won the ball here in a dangerous spot. Bruno's won it. Who else? He's been forced off to their right wing, but he's skinned his marker. And then he's tackled. And Newcastle still have the ball, though. Found a bit of space here. Miggy's playing a 1-2 with ASM. No, ASM finds spot. It goes down far too easy, but it gets a penalty. It gets a free kick against him, and it's probably going to get a card. And I have to say, lads, that was deserved, wasn't it?
It was. I don't want to say that.
I was looking for that all day.
You don't see that enough, actually. People diving over and getting there. That's absolutely shocking.
You're better than that, Maxie, however.
He didn't need to do it. He actually beat his man with the ball and then's gone to win the free kick. It wasn't even inside the box. He's just fallen over thin air, and he was literally could have just like hurdled his man and ran straight onto the ball and had a shot on goal. What the hell was he doing there?
And Bruno's down holding his knee, I think.
Ankle. I think he was in that tackle there in the corner.
Well, there comes the first drinks break.
I want to get injured.
Wow, that sounds like a good plan. A top up.
This was trying to replay of the save from Pope. Who's that cracking the can open?
That's me.
That's Nitro Guinness going off there, I think.
Yeah, it's a drinks break.
Drinks break, there you go.
I've got 2 drinks to last this whole game.
It's 12:24 a.m. and Mark's cracked open a can of Guinness.
Absolutely murdered that as well. Did not do a very
we
good
got a few
job
more
of
in
that.
them. So 23 minutes in, lads. Can someone give us a summary so far of how those 23 minutes have gone? Craig?
Brighton probably had the more dominant possession, but I'd say we've had the better chance. We have had the ball in the net for a kickoff, albeit being ruled out.
I still don't get.
Maxi had a bit of a moment of stupidity getting that yellow card from the dive, but Miggy's looked quite good. He had a cracking turn before, left his man for dust, and Bruno's slowly coming into the game, but I think he may have picked up a knock now.
Would you say it's still pretty much evens then?
Yeah.
On the whole?
Apart from that one chance with the ball in the net, I don't think either keepers had made a real quality save or anything.
There's people putting sun lotion on the in the crowd here. That's how bad the sun is.
My video is completely frozen.
It's been doing it several times, mate. Yeah, it's just start all the time.
Probably just my computer freaking out that I've got the match and StreamYard going at the same time.
I'll use my device. Oh, so here's a ball through to Wilson. He's going to be offside, I think.
Oh, keep going, man, Max.
He is offside, yeah. Was it ASM? Sorry, it was ASM. He was clearly offside.
Good idea, though. That was Wilson. That was off.
He's miles offside as well.
No, he's miles off, yeah. So that's what we want to see more of, definitely.
Yeah. Wilson's getting the telling off.
I think they're targeting Wilson. I think they're winding him up a bit. You just saw off the ball there. One of the defenders just came up and elbowed Wilson in the back. Absolutely no reason for it. Although he might have been hanging over the ball, I'm not exactly sure.
If that is the case, then VAR should be picking stuff like that up off the ball incidents. That's what it's there for.
I don't know if they spread it out beyond just stuff in the box, or is it for everywhere now?
Should be everywhere. For anything which is deemed as a red card offence, it can be pulled up anywhere on the pitch.
All right, well, he's ASM on the wing. He's coming towards the Brighton box. He squares it to Iggy, who takes a kick, and it goes absolutely miles away.
It's on its way back up St James's Park, that thing.
I think Miggy thought he'd do one of those. And I said at the time, like, I thought that goal he scored, Christ, when was it? Last season? Against Palace. Yeah, it was a bloody fluke, man. I'm telling you. It was a bloody fluke. He was trying to hit the bloody floodlights or something and just went in by accident. That's the stand. Oh, there's Dan Ashworth there in the crowd with his two biatches.
Maybe that's what Miggy needs to do, aim for the hot dog stand in the far corner, and then he might just find the stanchion.
Yep, here comes Brighton trying to overlap on Newcastle, but goes out for a goal kick to Newcastle.
I have to say, we're not getting a lot of room in behind, so we're not getting those balls in for the likes of Wilson or Maxi to run onto. There's always the Brighton player deep.
Yeah, their defense is doing a pretty good job so far. I don't know. There's a ball in the crowd, is it? What happened to the multiple ball thing?
I was going to say, I thought that was in for the whole season for everyone.
Isn't there one sitting there right there in white, just on that dirty bit of grass there? Isn't that a ball on the...
I don't know. Something happened in the crowd. Whether the ball went in there and they're refusing to give it back, I didn't see. But yeah, they've got...
It's again, though. So you think
something's happened. There's coppers going over to the Newcastle fans now, and they're pointing towards the middle of the paddock.
And now the whole away fans are going, the referees are wanking, so I'm the idea what's going on. Nick Pope doesn't have the ball.
Daniel says it could be a medical incident.
I was going to say that looks like it might be that all the crowd was trying to get someone over. It looks like there might have been someone's passed out or something.
Not again.
The ball. They're not allowed. They're not supposed to be stopping the game for crowd incidents like that anymore. That's one of the new rules.
Oh well.
Fingers crossed.
Whoever it is, I hope they're okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Back on the play. Newcastle, Trippier launching it down to the middle. Yeah, I was going to say, it's just pointless kicking that ball right long like that. And Miggy spreads it out to SM, who's moved to the right-hand side. Doesn't have anybody in front of him. And Miggy's trying to find the space. SM picking up a few boos for that dive.
Rightly so.
Ball came loose, but Newcastle have it still.
Jimmy's being arrested.
Jimmy's getting arrested.
I haven't seen much of Willock in this game so far. What was that, Wilson?
No, he's been pretty quiet.
Oh, Wilson,
oh, God, what was
trying
that?
to... I've no idea. That even if they had got past the first man, it wouldn't have got anywhere anyway. Anyway, here comes Willock. Takes a shot, easy defended. Joe Linton on the ball, spreads it wide to Willock again. He's inside the area. He thinks he's man. He thinks it across towards Wilson, but he's defended. And Brighton kick it clear, but Newcastle have it back on the halfway line. And we've pondered too long. Newcastle lost the ball here. Brighton has spread it wide. And Trossard, I think, in the box. He's got two on him. It's kicked against Newcastle arm, but that's not going to be a penalty. It's against Shaw's arm. Brighton still have it. Newcastle have reset at the back here. And I just don't think it's enough pressure off the ball. You look at every time that Brighton could move up especially out the back, and they're just stealing the ball from our toes and breaking. We don't seem to be doing that at all.
Yeah, they're pressuring really well, actually. They seem hungrier for the ball. We're not doing our usual of really pressing them high and putting a load of pressure onto the opposition. And I don't know why. We seem off the pace today for some reason.
We're not pressing them at all. We're sort of sticking to zones or something. I don't know, but we're not pressing at all. Could be the heat, I suppose. And it's with Brighton. Dangerous area here. Right hand side. Our left. Whipped in. It's
Shaw just got booted in the heat.
went towards Welbeck. Shaw dives to get a head on it, and can't tell if he got kicked or not, but he's won a free kick anyway. Shaw does have a tendency to go down dramatically, and I think he's pretty fine, to be honest with you.
There's no way they can give that as a penalty. No way.
Yeah, there's just a replay here.
His hand was right down by his side. There's no movement there. It's just kicked into him.
It's like 3 foot away. What you meant to do?
Yeah.
What wrong with Jazz?
Man City 2-0 up. They're going to be a cricket score for them, I reckon.
Anyone know the scores?
Arsenal's 1-0 up.
Yeah, they're double up on some of our men here. Joe Linton just had 2 or 3 on them there. And I think Wilson's won a throw in. There's a little niggle at his defender, a little battle going on there.
Yeah, he needs to just settle down a bit. Him and Joe Linton just get on with the game.
Yeah.
Wilson is being wound up on purpose, I'm pretty sure of it. And if he's not, he's just losing his head anyway. Nothing came of the throw in, but Newcastle still have the ball on the halfway line. It was dinked to ASM, but he's lost it. I think this kind of weather the Brazilian lads would be well equipped, wouldn't you?
You'd think like.
Brighton have the ball. Down our left. They've been focusing down our left here. We sort of speculated on that before the game.
Joe, man.
Joe Linton's just giving the ball away to Welbeck, who's fed somebody. Brighton's in the box. He crosses it, and last ditch defended by Shaw. And it's kicked towards goal. Went under Pope, and it's cleared off a line by somebody. Crowd went up. The referee hasn't looked to his watch, so that clearly didn't go over the line, but that is as close as it gets. Who was on the line, Craig?
Trippier, I think, number 2.
Well, it went underneath Pope somehow, and you had Trippier behind him. That's a foul, ref. Come on. That's a yellow.
There's got to be a card,
Newcastle,
yeah.
McAllister's going to pick up the yellow. Take him off for the team.
I thought at first, when the ball went to Trippier, I think he sliced it and he put it into his own net, but luckily he managed to get control of it. He didn't cross the line. How close was it then? There's a replay.
Here comes the replay here. So Brighton played in middle of the box. He's got 4 in front of him, 4 Newcastle defenders and a couple of Brighton players on either side. Press the button then. Press the play button. Someone at Optus needs to press the play button. Well, that was the worst replay I think I've ever seen. It was a freeze frame before the ball was even kicked.
Might as well have described it on the radio.
Anyway, ball's back to players with Newcastle. 10.5. Some forward pressure from Brighton here.
I think Big Joe needs to wind up McAllister now, just to with him being on that yellow. See if we can get the odd.
Big Joe just needs to get his foot on the ball a bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
Took the ball down from Pope pretty well.
Yeah.
I think I want to see more Bruno.
Yeah, our midfield's just not being involved at all.
Well, they are kind of going over the top though, so it's understandable. Newcastle just retaining possession here on the halfway line, inviting a bit of pressure. And in fact, they've lost the ball here. Another turnover.
Trippier not having a good game at all.
Bruno with a lovely cut out there. Wins Newcastle the ball back. It's a lovely ball through to Wilson here. Willock, sorry. Bit of space, but he's being tracked. Whips it across to the far post. It's ASM just inside the box. Down our left. Pulls it back towards, ostensibly towards Bruno, but it's so easily cut out again. It's just telegraphing these passes back. And Brighton players down. Newcastle are going to take the opportunity to kick the ball out, even though they don't have to. And there's no guarantee we'll get the ball back.
Keep playing. Until the ref stops, keep playing. That's the rule of the game.
The referee has stopped now.
Has he?
Blew the whistle. That rule is a load of bollocks. Because everyone's used to stopping when one of the players goes down. Here's the final replay. Guys, here we go. So the ball's played down our left. It's cut back. Just beats down Burn, I think. Initial block. It goes underneath Pope. Trippier is slightly retreating. And he gets a touch to it.
That's on the line. Wow.
Yeah.
It's bouncing down again on the line again. And he gets a second chance at picking it. That second chance there is so close. Half the ball's over the line.
It's like an inch.
Yeah, about 60.
It's not even half.
Over the line there.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, that was close.
2/3 of the ball, let's say, was over the line there. And absolutely fantastic bit of defending from Trippier.
Come on, Joe.
Joe Linton under pressure. Joe Linton's getting doubled up here. This is why he's losing the ball so often. It's Brighton again, attacking Newcastle's left. They have another man running through the middle again. They just seem to have men run through the middle all the time here towards our edge of our box. It's a long-range kick. Pope saves it easily. But Brighton, every time, they're running down the wing and they're cutting it straight back into left, into the middle of the box. There's always someone running onto it, and there's no Newcastle player anywhere near it. They've done it several times now. And the ball's still with Brighton. They're in our box. It's with Welbeck, I think. And it's a terrible, terrible kick from just outside the box by Beard McWhoever. And goes flying over McAllister there. But we have
to half time now.
Yeah,
we have to be clever about these runs down the wing. They are always cutting these balls back, and we don't have anybody in that position to cut the ball out.
It's not a disaster, but it's not great either, is it?
Yeah.
Well, look, we knew it was going to be difficult. It's 0-0. It's 0-0 still. You know, nothing decided. We knew it wasn't going to be like Forest. I mean, if anyone thought it was going to be like Forest, they kid themselves, basically.
That's right.
Man City 3-0. This is more like the games you expect to get. And here's Brighton again coming towards us. They've got a runner, an overlap, but Pope's cut that out, thank God. But we're looking leggy at the back here.
Looking shaky. We're looking really shaky. We just can't hold on to the ball in midfield at the moment.
No, well, we're trying to play through the middle, but Brighton have that 3 and that 4 line, don't they? Well, the 4 and the 3 line, rather, of the formation that just sits in the middle and completely crowds out the ball. Brighton, on the other hand, they're just launching it over the top. They're just completely sort of missing our midfield, and they're getting quite a lot of joy out of it as well. And they are definitely targeting Dan Burn down the left there, without doubt. And they know Dan Burn very well.
Well, it's not. I mean, we're making silly mistakes as well. We need to cut out gifting the ball away. I mean, Trippier's giving the ball away a few times.
Well, but I mean, he was like that last time.
But pass the ball around more. Like, you know, what they've done so well in pre-season was try to pass the ball around. They're not doing that. They're just hoofing it long, and the pressure's coming straight back at us.
Yeah, as if they're trying to rush the attack. I know you want to do it with urgency, but there's no sense of no sense of quality there.
Joe trying to play his way right through the middle of 3 different players there and almost loses the ball. Somehow it's come to Wilson here. Or Willock. Here comes Willock, takes a shot. It's defended, lobbed up from the defender and he's into the hands of the keeper. I'm on my phone here and I'm struggling to see who the hell each player is. The screen's tiny. We do look a bit. It's funny though, Dex. I think you look at like Joel Linton just there. He's trying to do far too much, and Bruno doesn't seem to be anywhere near it. So I don't know what position Bruno's trying to play. I don't know if he's pushed forward or what, because he should be really a more of a defensive midfielder, and he doesn't seem to be getting involved too much. I don't know if they're just effectively bypassing him. He's on the ball just now, but he hasn't had enough of the ball, I don't think, Bruno.
Is this a game
Hopefully-
where we're actually really going to miss Shelby?
Well, look, I said in the first game we missed Shelby anyway. Any game, I think we missed Shelby.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't quite get the credit that he deserves. I mean, the problem with Shelby is he's very, very slow, and against mobile teams like this, he can easily be caught out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he has that vision, that sort of breaking pass that you can in games like this where you want to sort of bypass the midfield. Maybe you need someone like Shelby to pick out that pass, and Bruno can do it, but Bruno's just not on the ball enough. Of course, on the other side of the coin, you need a player on the other end of the ball. So, and I don't think we've got that yet. Either here's a dangerous ball in the middle here, and Pope smothered it under pressure from Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck's getting closer. Yeah, it was a very simple bit of play. That it was out of Gross on the wing, and he had nobody anywhere near him. Dan Burn a little bit too tight in the middle.
We're just so slow on the ball. Bruno's just giving it away.
Yeah, he's pondering on the ball. He doesn't know there's anybody around. He's not getting a shot from anyone. And Brighton are really starting to camp outside of our box here. Dangerous ball in the middle to Lallana. Lallana gets the ball right in the centre next to the penalty spot. Spins, kicks straight down Pope's throat. What's interesting about that is nobody ran in after that kick because Pope spills that ball quite badly.
Yeah.
It catches it, but it spins and it sort of moves away. If Welbeck had been following that up instead of just standing there watching, he might have had a chance there. But I think it's fair to say, lads, this is pretty much all Brighton at the minute.
It is, yeah. We aren't in this game at all right now.
And then they go and just kick that ball into empty space for Newcastle to pick up the position.
If we get into half time at 0-0, then I'll be surprised because the pressure they've been put on lately. And there's only 3 minutes left, but they can turn an attack in seconds.
Here's Newcastle. Let's see if we can build something here. Just moved into Brighton's half, down the right-hand wing. Balls with Wilson, who's been forced out wide, apparently. He's looking for options. He had nothing available to him.
There's nothing on for them.
Have the easiest job in the world, just to steal the ball off his toes. And then, of course, Brighton then go and give it straight back. So now it's Newcastle still. Bruno's on the ball, finds Joe. And sort of just outside the keeper box. So now ASM, he's trying to find his way into the box. He's lost his man. He's tried to pull it back to, again, nobody. And obviously it didn't get anywhere. But Newcastle still have the ball on the halfway line. Brighton, I think, are just happy to let us. Brighton are just happy to let us sort of run ourselves to the ground here, I think. I don't think they've seen anything to be worried about. Yeah,
that's probably a good call.
We can't get anywhere near a shot.
That should be a free kick.
Yeah, he's got hold of his arm.
He's holding him back now. That should be a free kick.
Just on Daniel's comment there, I do think we're trying to get to half time and then maybe we can regroup and perhaps change things.
We need to.
For the second half. It's 34 minutes at the moment. There's probably not going to be a great deal of extra time. Probably, well, there was that stoppage for whatever happened in the crowd. So what do you reckon? A couple of minutes?
43. Dyslexia is sort of kicking in there, Lee.
Hey?
You said 34 minutes.
Did I? Oh, sorry. I meant 44. 44.
Oh,
Miggy's on the ball in space down there, right? He's got support. Oh, he's went and passed it to Wilson, who's in an offside position. And he had two players over on the left. If he had just passed it to left, they were in absolute extra space, and he decides to choose Wilson, understandably the striker, but in an offside position. Miggy's got to do better than that.
Let's see how close this was. It's close, you know. He's onside there. He's onside.
He is actually.
That was good play.
Yeah. Yeah, the defender had his
if that
leg
had
out.
gone
That
in,
should have played him on. Yep.
so the keeper had have actually
That's
just
two
let it go past
decisions
him
against us.
Yep.
That would have been overturned. Although all Wilson had to do was stick it in there, but obviously it was saved.
Well, surely that's a corner then.
You'd have thought, wouldn't you?
Here's ASM. Newcastle's half.
Oh my god!
Goes and does all the hard work and then gives the ball away like an absolute idiot.
Joe's just like broken someone's leg.
Alistair's went down holding his right leg. No card by those things.
3 minutes added on time.
So look at this. So
Out
Joe's
Didn't even touch him. Didn't even touch him. Where's the yellow for that?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Dive out of Max's book there.
Oh, he's Argentinian. There you go.
Yes.
Wait a minute. It was McAllister who went down, wasn't it? You can't be an Argie. It was called McAllister.
I don't know. Can anyone in watching confirm what nationality McAllister is for us?
Gotta be bloody Scottish, mate. It ain't gonna be freaking Argentinian. And this is from the Falklands.
Maybe.
Oh, he is. He's an Argentinian footballer.
There you go.
What?
He
Doesn't
is.
sound it like Disney.
It's not McAllister. It's Mac Allister.
Yeah,
Mac. Balls, honestly.
Yeah, how long are you pause for? That's the question.
Yeah. It's all in the pause.
It is.
Joe Linton's went down here. He's not very happy about it, but just a bit of a soft elbow in the face. Joe Linton can brush those things off easily. I think he's trying to make a point to the referee as much as anything else.
Apparently, that could be the rule there, Bam. Ref gave it as offside as he didn't score, so it didn't go to VAR. Fair enough, I suppose.
Still a mental
It should be a
rule.
corner, though.
It's like, surely if it's going to VAR, it's going to VAR. And it's like, well, the decision's based on whatever was happening.
Yeah.
Just make the rules up as they go, these bloody refs.
10 or 12 minutes.
We'll get a point where everything's just all done virtually from a distance.
Sparked into life, 1 or 2 half opportunities for both sides.
Come on.
So it's 47 and a half minutes. Full-time whistle, half-time whistle going in a minute now. Newcastle just keep hold of the ball. And there's been a lovely dink forward there towards Miggy by the looks of things, but it was held up well by the defender and the keeper gathers. And that is the half-time whistle.
That is half-time. Well, I'm happy to get in 1-0, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That was not an easy game to watch for the first half.
Definitely not. It was,
No, I mean-
certainly played better.
We all knew it wasn't going to be against, the same kind of performance as against Forest. I mean, that game obviously went into half-time 0-0 as well, but it was Newcastle.
But we were
thing.
dominant. We're creating chances. We're
dominant.
just not creating much at all. It's like the quality's not there.
I'm pretty convinced that it's to do with the pressure from Brighton. They're actually doubling up on some of our players here, and they're not giving them any time to do whatever they want, And whereas in Newcastle's tactics, we're just standing off. We're not getting tight. We're not getting close. We're not making them force them into any kind of mistakes, and that might be, due to respect for the way they play. But it might be maybe it's a little bit too much respect. I think Brighton can be got at if you, like every other team, if you just put them under pressure, make them make mistakes, and see what you can get on the back of that. But we're nowhere near it at the minute. Absolutely nowhere near it.
But that's the whole point, isn't it? It's like our game is about pressuring the opposition, pushing high up the pitch and getting onto the defenders with the ball. And we're just not doing any of that. We're sitting back, playing deep, and then we're giving the ball away because we're under pressure and when there's nobody making the runs. So all I can say is I hope Daniel's right and that we're actually playing for the 0-0 at half time, and then we can sort of take advantage of them being tired in the second half, because right now that's about all I can really hope for.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
who's going to be the more tired though? Us chasing shadows or Brighton just doing whatever the hell they want?
Well, they've been pushing a lot more. They've been pressing us. They've been closing us down. That's got to take it out of them. We're kind of sitting deeper. We're not expending that extra energy off the ball at the moment. So hopefully that kind of leaves a little bit more in the tank.
I mean, it's not as if we haven't had the chances either. You know, we have created one or two things. Again, referring back to the goal that got disallowed, which I don't think should have been.
But I just
That
have no idea how that's given. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely a goal.
Yeah, so that should have been given. And then there was that chance for where Wilson was onside but was given wrongly offside. Again, it was saved, but whether the call was made just who's taking the shot, which put him off, I don't know. But we have created the odd chance. Miggy has skied the odd ball. Maxi, a few little step overs, but he's just putting it back at the wrong time or just to the wrong person. So it's not 100% they're camped in our half and they're dominating. We are creating chances, just nothing clear cut yet, unfortunately.
That's right. And Brighton are giving the ball away quite often as well. Quite unlike them to give the ball away as much as I think we've seen today. But Bruno, for me, hasn't been in this game enough. I think the 4-2-3, whatever the hell formation they're playing, they've basically packed out that midfield and they're all doubling up on our midfielders. And I think that's critical to stopping us play our game. And if we try and play it long, then we inevitably just give the ball back. But Brighton, they play it long and they're finding space, particularly down the left. They're definitely targeting Dan Burn down that left-hand side. And they're cutting the ball back, as I said before there. And they've got a runner coming into the box. And he's inevitably in absolutely tons of space. And they find a lot of joy like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they score that way either. And let's not forget, they were this far away from going 1-0 into the half time here. Were it not for that sensational double goal line clearance by Kieran Trippier from a ball that somehow gets underneath Nick Pope. I mean, sometimes keepers aren't the best at getting down, and I don't know if Pope is one of those, or if the ball was just hit so hard and it was too close to him to get down in time. Thankfully, Trippier used his experience to get behind Pope just in case it got underneath him, which it did. His first touch took it off the line, and then the bounce, it was actually the second touch that he had to make, the bounce that was the closest to going over the line. I actually thought the first one was, but it wasn't on the replay. It was the second one, and it just by a notch chuff hair did it manage to stay out, and that was probably the legitimately closest attempt by either team, I think you'd have to say, really. If you scratch off the ones that didn't count for whatever reason. But it'd been coming. Welbeck's been finding a lot of space in the box. He's been getting fed the ball quite a lot in the box as well. I'm just watching some of the highlights here. I think you'd have to agree that Pope's been the busier of the two keepers, wouldn't you?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I
don't think we're creating enough clear. We getting to the edge of the box, but then we just don't have that last little bit of quality. And as like Bobby's saying, we just can't have a forward line with Miggy and ASM going into the rest of the season because they're just not consistent enough at the moment. We need that little bit of quality going into that box and creating those final clear-cut chances that we're just not doing. And granted, look, we're not at the races in terms of possession at the moment, but you've got to be thinking like at some point when you're on the edge of the box or you've got the ball in a really good area, we're just missing that little bit of quality that cuts the teams open, and you can't go into the season without that.
Yeah. Jay's made this comment here. As mad as it sounds, I think we might find it difficult playing into the sun. Was right in everyone's eye line. Brighton won't have that advantage in the next half. Could that have been a factor, you think?
Everything like that's a factor, isn't it? It all comes into it at the end of the day. You could argue that down our left, I was going to say down our left is full of shade, but of course if we go up the field down our left, we've got the same amount of shade, so I don't suppose that matters too much. But everything like that, wind direction, everything matters in that kind of regard. And if the sun is low, but it's 3 o'clock, so it should be fairly high. I can't imagine it's in too many people's eyes unless the ball's being lofted in the air. But who knows? I suppose we'll find out in the second half if that's going to have any kind of influence on us. But I just wonder if Eddie's going to change anything this second half, because I think he needs to do something to get us on the ball more. But then when we're on the ball, as Mark says, we need to do more with it. We're getting crowded out far too quickly. We don't have the space around us. We have to find a way of getting. We'll probably have to bypass midfield just to get beyond their parked bus, on the halfway line, with their 7 players that they've got sitting there doubling up on everybody. We're probably going to have to just keep spreading it to the wings over the top and hoping that ASM and Miggy can finally put a frigging decent ball in, and hopefully that Wilson will be somewhere in the middle ready to get on the end of it, because right now even Wilson's struggling. Wilson had to go out to the wing at one point just to get the bloody ball.
Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's all the people that are losing the ball's fault. I think there's just a lack of movement generally in the team at the moment when we're not making those runs. So the person who gets the ball, you can see that they're like sort of dilly-dallying on the ball way too much because there's just nothing downfield for them to pick out. And then they're getting caught out in possession, losing the ball, and then we're on the back foot again. So that's got to change. I think we need to be a bit quicker. We need to make the runs off the ball and create some space for the people that do receive the ball.
I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but I actually made that point against Forest that we were static. There wasn't enough people running into space, and that kind of movement is as much to make space for someone else behind you as it is to be on the receiving end to make something happen yourself. And it just wasn't going on. Now, thankfully, Forest weren't very good, but this Brighton team, they're just sitting back and lapping that stuff up. And there also doesn't seem to be a great deal of communication between the players either. I don't know how many times the ball's been stolen off the toes, either by the defender just running up behind Wilson and taking the ball away, or someone in the midfield just fanning around with the ball too long, like Bruno did, and someone just run up to him and saying, cheers very much, and off again. There needs to be a bit of communication between players as well. And it's not that loud, it's not that noisy. It's the bloody Amex. It's not St. James's. It's pretty average volume, without being kind of cruel about it. I think the whole awareness just isn't quite right. I mean, let's have a look at the subs. I know you don't typically make changes at halftime, so I'm not suggesting to do that. But the subs that we have, so obviously Dubravka in between the sticks. You got Dummett, Lascelles, Richie, and Manquillo, probably all for the defence, you'd imagine. Possibly not Richie. Hopefully not Richie. Wood, Murphy, Anderson, and Longstaff. If you were going to change something on, let's say it stays 0-0, and it's basically the same kind of pattern of play, who do you look at on that bench and go, you know what, you're a game changer? Who are you looking at?
I know nobody wants to hear this, but if we keep playing the way we're playing, I'd stick Wood on up front because we're bombing these long balls through, and Wilson's just not getting any joy. You need that sort of bigger body up front. I'd kind of be reluctant to take Wilson off for Wood right now, in terms of pure out and out goal scoring ability. But if you think of the alternatives, you're kind of looking at maybe putting Murphy on for Almiron.
And he's just about susceptible of terrible end product as well, isn't he? I mean,
well, he's great until he goes and hits the bar or the cross or the post.
Every shot off the post.
It was where Ryan Fraser not even selected for the squad, or is he injured?
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's strange what to say there. For me, just because he's unknown, Anderson. Why not?
Yeah.
Sometimes that can have a positive impact. Sometimes, again, it can have a big negative impact due to lack of experience. But Longstaff, we've seen it too many times where a game like this, he's just going to get caught on the ball. He's too slow with his reactions. And I don't think this is the type of game for him. It's not open enough for him to have an impact. Whereas Anderson, he can get the ball at his feet. He can run at a player or two. And he'll just a different aspect to what Longstaff would bring. Murphy, not have Murphy on that squad unless someone gets injured, we'll have to. But I just noticed that Fraser's not even part of that squad.
Yeah.
Fry and Razor, did he call him?
Fry and Razor, yeah.
Fry and Razor.
He's Scottish, so he fries everything.
Hey, my name is Fry and Razor. So if you're going to put on Anderson, who are you taking off?
Willock. Yeah, natural replacement.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Willock, he's been in and around the ball, but he's not really doing it either today, is he?
Very anonymous, but then again, he's not the only one that has been. Bruno is certainly been under par. Caught on the ball numerous times, which is very unlike him. Normally, he plays the game in bullet time and can say exactly what's happening around him. I don't know.
He's not been given the space. He's not been getting the space. He needs the space to look around him. He's not getting that space, as I say.
But he
Brighton are
needs
closing
those, as we said, though, he needs those players ahead of him to make the
He does.
runs for him to be able to pick out. And if he's not getting those players in the open and getting those balls to play, then like, what's he meant to do?
The problem is when he looks to do a square ball on the turn, perhaps, and he's thinking of Joe Linton. Joe Linton's already got 2 men approaching him. You know, that move has already been cut up by Brighton before it's even been done. But that move still happens because, as you say, there's not really much else for him to do.
Yeah.
But that to me is up to the likes of Willock, who isn't really getting that space. You know, if he can't be picking out Joe Linton next to him, he has to be able to be picking out Joe Willock, Almiron, Wilson, St. Maximin, all ahead of him, which don't seem to be on a lot of the time.
Well, possession-wise, here we go. It's on the screen now. Brighton just nudged it with 51-49. Shots, Brighton have had 6, we've had 3. Brighton have had 4 on target, we've had 1. 163 passes to our 157, so that's nothing in it. And successful passes was just in favour of Brighton there, I think, from what I've seen. So
Newcastle.
Possession-wise, it's very even, but chances, Brighton are definitely the team ahead in that aspect.
Yeah, stats-wise, that's really surprising. I thought Brighton would have been significantly better than us for a lot of those stats, and it's actually a lot more even stats-wise than it appeared watching the game.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that just shows how much of a back and forwards kind of sloppy game, really, in many ways it is. Both teams giving the ball away cheaply at times. Brighton doing it better with it when they're going forward. Newcastle struggling sometimes.
Chris Wood warming up.
Chris Wood warming up, yeah. And players in the tunnel. Kieran Trippier doing the coach's job here, teaching everybody how to do the job. Have we seen much of Botman in this game?
He's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, I saw the comment before from Tony T. I think he's looked as sure. He hasn't really sort of had a lot to do, to be honest. It's all been Burn that's been tested, really. Hasn't really been given the chance to ping the long balls forward that we've seen from him in the past in pre-season. But he hasn't he hasn't really put a foot wrong in terms of making clear mistakes. So, hopefully that continues.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brighton players have made their way onto the pitch ahead of the second half. No subs out of the team.
Second half?
This could end a 0-0. It could end a bloody 4-0. It could be. I think if Brighton get the first goal, I think we're in deep trouble. But equally, if we get the first goal, I still think we're in trouble. If that makes sense, because we are basically being overrun in midfield, and Brighton have had some pretty decent chances, as you've said. They're a lot better shots on goal as well than the clearance off the line. And I would imagine that they would come straight back at us, like they've been doing this whole half. And Newcastle.
Let's see what our work rate is. I mean, look, let's be honest. We can't sort of be any less sort of at the pace of the game as we were in the first half. So, look, if we up our tempo, then we'll get back into the game and get a little bit more foot on the ball and a bit more possession, a bit more sort of clear-cut chances created, and see how we go with the game. But it's on the way. Brighton's going forward.
Brighton in the box, and they're trying to play a man in, but there's nobody there down Newcastle's right. The shade, I'm hoping that shade's going to make its way across the pitch a little bit more, because it's, from one of the stands there, it's just about creeping across to the halfway line. I imagine there'll be a bit of relief for some of the players down that way. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Nick Pope. And I don't think I saw any changes. Did anybody see any changes to the teams? Not usually any changes half time, is there?
Bit more momentum, bit more tempo, a bit more frigging tackles. A lot of empty seats. I know it's just come back from half time, but still, that's a lot of empty seats.
It is, isn't it? Lazy buggers. Probably burnt a bloody crisp sitting there. No, those seats will be melting.
Right.
Dan Burn looks like he's sweating his tits off just taking a throw in.
So here's Newcastle with the ball. The ASM has it. He's looking for a switch, I think. He's looking for something anyway, and he's trying to make the switch, and it's easily cut out. He just basically passes the ball to Brighton's player. He tries to make up. In fact, he does make amends. Well done, Maxi. That's something you haven't seen last season.
That's a good recovery. That's a good recovery from him.
Loses the ball, keeps on it, gets the ball back. That's nice to see from ASM, that. Newcastle forced back into their own half, though. And launch it forward down the right-hand wing towards Wilson, who squares it optimistically, miles in the air towards Joe Linton, who actually won the ball. Down the left now. Back with Joe. And just as we've been describing there, there's not any movement in front of him. And as a result, Newcastle having to go back a bit here. And they've inevitably lose the ball when they try to move it forward. So ball's with Brighton, halfway line. Down our right wing.
I think I was expecting Dex.
Crosses across to Trippier, who very comfortably heads it straight to Nick Pope for a goal kick. For Newcastle possession with Nick Pope. Popey. What's your predictions for this half anyway? I think I basically just hogged that whole question.
I reckon they're both going to try and suss each other out for the first 10 minutes of the second half. Maybe try and squeeze your ball through or whatever. But the first goal, like you said, is going to be crucial, I think, if there's going to be a first goal. Hopefully it comes our way. I think if Brighton do their need to come and attack on the counter or anything, that'll just open them up to the counter for us. But yeah, it's going to be a tough 15 minutes for the game while they suss each other. Brighton through. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still going to go 2-0 us.
Balls with Brighton.
Into
the box. Header to goal. Nick Pope cut reflexes, keeps it out, and Newcastle maintained possession. But the problem with that there was that Newcastle got a chance to no, it's just been defended well enough to keep Maxi away from the ball there. It's on the halfway line. The problem there was, again, we all just sat back and gave them all that space at the edge of the box like I've just been explaining. And the guy had plenty of time to pick his spot. And he can Brighton again. They're looking for that ball through the middle of the defence. Newcastle struggling to get rid of the ball here.
How I knew about someone.
Botman just gets rid of it any way he can, and it's going to come back. It's all down our left again. In the sun. Brighton down the edge of the box here. Kicks a shot, and it's well over the top.
I just think Brighton are first to the ball all the time at the moment. They're just in the right place at the right time. Whenever we sort of put the ball forward, they're making some great tackles, and we're sort of misplacing some passes. But they're just, they just managing to be in the right place at the right time, which is frustrating for our players, I guess. But we need to. That is a cracking save off Pope, by the way.
Right near to the 8-yard box.
Replay of it, full stretch out to his left.
It's headed to the ground, so it's one of those difficult bouncy ones, and Pope is kind of static, but he manages to get his palm to it. It would have been disappointing if he had been beaten by the near post by a downward head like that, but anyway, corner kick to Brighton. Terrible, and it hits the first man, and it goes out for a throw.
Need to get a foothold already.
Well, Leeds have just scored.
I think we're missing Matty Target, down that left.
Yeah, he's dependable and reliable, but he almost goes unknown throughout the game. He just goes in and out of it, which is what you want from a defender. He's always there, but he's never making a mistake. And is this the first game he's missed since he signed, I think?
Might well be. He's got a brilliant pass down the line as well. He's got that lovely sort of touch on him.
He's good sort of backing up going forward, which I think we're missing down that side at the moment.
Yeah. And here can Brighton down our left again, targeting Dan Burn. They're going to do this all game by the looks of things. It's been skinned far too easily. And Botman's there to defend the cross. Brighton still have the ball. Been forced into the corner a little bit there, but they managed to get it out. And Newcastle have won back possession, thank you. And here's ASM with 2 men around him, 3 men around him. Newcastle still in line with their own box here. Goes for a switch of play, and it's cut out far too easily. And this is going to go on and on and on. This. Newcastle win a handball, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Trossard. And that will relieve a bit of pressure. God knows we need it. But a couple of very decent saves there from Poby.
It was cracking save that. Do you think Dubravka saves that?
Oh, I think so. I don't think it's as difficult as it looks, to be honest with you.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
It always looks better in slow motion, I suppose.
It would have been, it's not bad here, don't get me wrong, but there's no pace in it. And like I say, I think any keeper would have been disappointed being beaten at the near post like that. Throw into Shaw inside Newcastle's box area. Sorry.
Coming there for 22 again.
It's a fair comment. I'll go along with that. I mean, all it takes is one moment of Maxi brilliance or something, and a bit of Wilson.
Maxi's got to get the ball. Ooh, Brighton almost had a bit of mix up at the back.
But yeah, at least against Forest, we were creating chances, and we're just not getting that little rub going forward at the moment.
To be fair as well, I mean, you could argue this is a bit like the Forest game in the sense that Brighton having all the best possession, all the best shots on goal, and the longer that goes on, the more frustrated they're about to get, which was my concern last week when we weren't getting past Forest. But from what we've seen from Newcastle so far, they're just so disjointed. There's no, it's very unlike us. We can barely string a pass together. That's what, on the rare occasion we get the ball and hold onto it for 5 seconds. I mean, you watch this now.
Yeah, just need to take a bit of pressure off.
Brighton just moving the ball around in our half here. Newcastle sitting back and just one man moving.
Sitting very deep.
It's very, very deep. There's no pressure off the ball. Brighton have basically been allowed to move everybody around as they feel fit. And sooner or later, they'll get something out of this. This is a throw into Brighton. Down our left again. Midway through the keeper's box. Brighton player taking about 1,000 steps to get out of the corner there.
I mean, this almost looks like we've gone there for a point.
Yeah,
I don't think it'd be a worse result.
No, to be honest, I'll be happy with a point down there. I think Brighton are a very good side. Away from home is never going to be easy for us. So I think at home we've got St James's as a fourth.
Sorry, Mark. Forest. Brighton had the ball down our right and they whipped it in the box. But Sven Botman's been meeting a few of those there this half already, and he was there again to clear it. But he'll come again down the right. Just triangles around us here. Just running into space, picking the ball up. Newcastle gets a hold of the ball. Instant pressure from more than one player. On this occasion, we get lucky. And that was Bruno under pressure as well, who's normally very good at getting out of those little corners.
He's good at winning those free kicks as well, though.
Yes, I'm not even sure what that was for, to be honest with you. I know he's getting held a little bit, but
he had his arm pulled.
Yeah, but was it for that or was it because he went down? Anyway, who cares?
Both. Just relieves a bit of pressure. I'm glad for that.
It does.
Absolutely. 55 minutes. It's been all Brighton this half. If I was Keegan now, I'd be talking about Eddie Howe's pecs.
Or Tyndall's tan.
Or Tyndall's tan.
He's definitely got a tight shirt on, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's probably Castro. It's probably a size XL or something. It's Newcastle into the box. Rarely this half. Instantly pushed back all the way to the halfway line. Well, that was a quick move forward to move back, wasn't it? Trying to switch it down the wing. Absolutely terrible. Easy to cut out.
Too easy.
And Brighton were able there just to, like, there you go. Forward move towards Sonny March. Brighton, Pope as well out of his box. And he's kicked it out for a throw-in. Brighton took it quickly. And here's a nice bit of pressure from Joe Linton, actually.
Oh, Joe, calm down. Whoa, Joe.
Oh, No. Come on, Joe.
Trip.
Go
Joe
easy.
Linton's a bit of pushy, argy-bargy. Joe Linton's lost it with his
Somebody
man.
go and calm him down. He's going to
Yeah.
get himself sent
Barging
off.
everybody else around him. He's lost his head here, Joe.
Trips, you get in there. You tell him what to do. Dan Burns having his own 2 cents. He's on a good laugh.
That was such a half-assed effort from Dan Burn there.
It was, wasn't it?
He's just pissing around, isn't he? So Trippier's done an excellent captain's job here of calming down Big Joe. He's moved him away. He's kept away from all the hassle. He's having a word in his ear now. It's good to see from Trippier. He's just a born leader, isn't he, of this team?
He is. Let's see what Corey brings out here. That's yellow, I think. See it already.
That's a bit yellow. It's only a bit of bloody
It's got to be both ways, though, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would have.
think so.
It should be for the other Brighton player that came in late to push Joe Linton out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow apiece.
Yeah, yellow cards for both.
Handshakes. Trippier making sure both players of both teams are doing all right. No replays of this yet. I don't even know what sparked.
Yeah, I don't know what started it.
Dan Burns pissed himself.
Have a good laugh with Sonny Marsh. Here we go. So it's Joe Linton in the corner, gets around his man, and so Sonny Marsh actually picks up Joe's leg and tries to tip him over, and Joe does not like being touched. Sonny Marsh, I mean,
to be honest, fair to them, none of them went over like a sack of spuds when they got pushed, which is something you see all too familiar these
dangerous.
days.
Bounced in the middle of the box here. Castle tries to clip it to the far post and just kicks it straight off a goal kick to Newcastle. But we've seen it in pre-season now with Joel. He does like to
gets a bit
fiery. He got sent off.
He
got freaking sent off in a friendly. I mean, do I need to add any more to that? So he's got to be. And you know, if you're someone like Graham Potter and you're thinking, no, you might be a danger, wind him up. You know, it's part of the dark arts of the game. Wind these guys up. They might get sent off. Makes your job a shitload easier if you can get them sent off.
Really
And Joe Linton, who got a red card in the friendly, is definitely one of those blokes you can wind up.
Maybe that bit of fire in his belly will actually help. Maybe not.
Well, something needs to liven this game up. But
Still
Brighton still have the ball here.
Keeping hold of the ball.
In Newcastle's half.
Trips.
And nice little shoulder barge wins the ball for Newcastle. Oh, it didn't actually. Oh, went to Brighton. So ball still with Brighton. 60 minutes in, Newcastle have barely seen the ball this half. And Brighton are just happy to pass the ball around. Newcastle chasing shadows here.
Gladly take a 1-0 snatch and grab right now, that's for sure.
Oh, would you? That's controversial.
Thought as much.
Yeah, I'd just take a win now. If I'm being honest here. Yeah, right. Jeez. Putting your arse on the line there with that one, Craigie.
Bouncing off the keeper's arse in the 93rd minute from a corner. You know, I'm not going to say no to it.
We haven't been anywhere near the corner, man. We can barely get.
Maybe it's still half an hour again. You never know. You never know.
Brighton maintaining possession here. Just went back to Christ. I've just said Brighton have been maintaining possession for a clear 5 minutes there. As soon as I say that, they pass it to Sanchez, who belts it straight out of play. Tell you what, there's lots of naked Geordie tits in the crowd there. I don't know if you're getting the old. I mean, I know I do it in the deeper winter, but this is definitely the weather for it if you're ever going to do it. Like,
tops off if you love the tune.
Tops
on
if you love the tune. So the ball's with it's back in play with Newcastle. I tell you what, I haven't seen much of either. I haven't seen much of Shaw.
No.
Yeah, we could do with one of these custom thunder bastards from outside the box, can't we?
We really could.
Newcastle are going to win a free kick here, I think. Under pressure, Willock under pressure now. Just another example of Brighton closing people down, not giving them any chance to do anything on the ball. And the ball's back in play again. Switch of play beautiful from Trippier and to Joe, who feeds in ASM down the wing. Brighton's right, and this might be our first corner of the game. It is. Is this our first? No, it's not our first. Is it our first?
Don't think
haven't
it's
had
our
many.
first, but it's first of this half anyway, at least.
That's the half, definitely. Yeah, we haven't had many. So it's down Brighton's right. Shot on the screen for some reason.
This could be the corner I was on about, Lee. You never know. It's not in the
You never
93rd
know,
minute,
mate.
but it's a corner.
You didn't know, do you?
Bit of quality, come on. No, we definitely had a corner in the first half because I was expecting Botman to score.
Ah, that's right. Aye.
Right, that's right. Trippier with the all the big lads are up. Trippier with the corner. Bit of quality on the end of this, man. Trippier, how? It's over the first man. It's towards Joe. He couldn't quite meet it. It comes back out to Trippier. Gets a second go at it. It's a bit better. Still well. I think that came off down Burn. And they went off for. In fact, they got a free kick from that. Oh, he's offside. There you go. What the fuck has anybody seen that? It's offside. So, unfortunately, that came out. Away fans in good voice.
Yeah, always.
Always. Till the first goal goes in.
There's another nail put in Ralph Hasselfort coffin. Leeds are now 2-0 up.
Oh, it's terrible, that. Could Southampton be one of those dark horses to go down? Is that Trossard with an injury?
It is.
Trossard went down under nothing, I don't think. He's on his hunkers. It's under pressure from Trippier. It's a bit of a shoulder barge and winded, maybe?
Didn't seem a lot in it. Thought he
Yeah,
got hit
just
in the spuds for a bit there, but
no, it looks like he's been hitting the side, doesn't it?
yeah.
No, here comes Lamptey. Brighton, ready.
Yeah, this is not what we want. A bit of extra pace is just what we didn't need.
Yeah, absolutely. Which side are you playing down? It's their left, isn't it?
It's
So
right.
Right. Is that right?
Is it right? Is it? So he's going to be facing Burn.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And Newcastle's got the ball in Brighton's half. Well, did have lost possession far too easily. And Brighton have turned over as well, so Newcastle have the ball back. That's Miggy. He's went out to the wing to ASM, crosses into the middle. It's a lovely cross, and it's well defended by Brighton and South for a corner kick to Newcastle.
Craig's
got the
special Optus connection, clearly.
He works for them, man. He's got the old Sly special deal.
Yeah, I've got that. Pay an extra $10 for an extra 10 seconds ahead of everyone else.
I keep saying this every week. Like, I don't know why. I keep saying, Craig, man, keep it to yourself. Just near where you're going to keep it to yourself. If a score goal is near where you're going to sit there serious, poker face.
No.
Maybe. Not possible. I have to wait for you to react then.
Aye, that's right. It's not going to happen. So Lalonde's going off.
The llama.
And it's going to be Lamptey coming on.
That's a bit of a worry.
Hmm.
But if we can nick one here again from a corner, ball's in our court,
Wait,
they've got to then attack us and leaves them exposed.
I thought it was Lamptey. It wasn't. It was Lamptey warming up there because it was someone else came on there.
I thought it was Tarek Lamptey that came on.
It was
Oh,
Webdu or something.
Oh!
So shut up, you. So here comes a corner. Trippier whips it in. Sad.
That's a
Dan
free
Burns
header.
meeting it. Full flight on the volley, and he nuts it well over the top of the ball.
How are you so far ahead of us, Craig?
Not a clue. Normally, I'm a good 30 seconds behind, being up here in snail mail country, far north Queensland.
Oh, he's got to do better than that.
Yeah,
That's a
that should be
free
on
header.
target.
For someone who's like as tall as he is, he's actually not very good in the air, is he?
Very tall people on. If you look at Peter Crouch, he didn't score many with his head,
Yeah.
and he was a striker and all. He was actually very, very good with his feet for a big man, which again is a bit of a cliche, I know.
I love it. Every time he does something bad or whatever, or good, it's always like for a big man. So
Yeah,
it's like, doesn't matter what it is. He's great at make cups of tea for a big man. Joe Linton's won the ball from Brighton here in a dangerous position, and unfortunately we can't make it stick, I don't think. Brighton managed to keep a hold of it. And Brighton just crossing the halfway line, slightly down our right. It's on the ball. And nice kick around the corner there, but it's went off for a throw into Brighton off Trippier.
It's going to make the game against Man City next week exciting, isn't it?
Bloody hell. That's went off for another throw off Wilson. No, Wilk.
What time are you at now, Craig?
65. Sorry,
Ball's fallen to
66,
Brighton. It's in the box. It's kicked. It's defended. Last ditch defending to the edge of the box. Willock's there waiting for it, and he's out wide to safety. Trippier kicks it forwards.
Some last ditch defending there.
That's Wilson, who's had to come deep. He's shook off his man. He's got Willock ahead of him. He spread it wide to Bruno, who's tried to feed through Willock in the middle and hasn't quite worked out, but it has gone off for a throw into Newcastle, almost in line with the box. That was some serious last minute defending, wasn't it? Holy shit!
Yeah.
You know, we're still creating these chances, but just not getting any shots on target. It's so frustrating.
Let's have a look at it again. So the throw-in went into the middle of the box, picked up by a Brighton player. Tries to kick to the middle. It's deflected slightly, but it falls to another Brighton player, and he takes a shot. It's defended on the deck by God knows who. Botman and Byrne, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Botman and Byrne do the defending there. In fact, it's mostly it's Byrne. It's a fantastic bit of defending from Byrne. Followed by Miggy, and then Joe Linton manages to hack it out to the line, and Willock takes it away.
Drinks
And
break.
looks like a drinks break again.
We're starting to get a few extra chances created, a little bit more control on the ball a bit, but we don't seem to be closing them down. That's the big problem. But definitely getting a few extra chances. I mean, we've had a few corners now. We've created a few chances. Yeah, hopefully we continue on. Hopefully this is the bit where Brighton are getting tired and we start coming back into the game.
No signs of any subs yet for Newcastle, is there? Has anyone seen any?
I mean, he didn't make them until late in the game against Forest, though, did he?
He did make some subs, though, didn't he? Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like in the 80th minute or something, though. But yeah, maybe this break and play, this drink break, is what we need.
Yeah,
we need something.
20 odd minutes, just have at them.
Yep. Just taking over 70 minutes here.
Yeah, well, those revenues will largely be driven by what happens on the pitch, won't they? The team becomes more and more successful.
Wouldn't quite go that far, Dex. I mean, Brighton are good, but they're not Man City. Again, you look at that bench there. I mean, Chris Wood, yes, an attacking player, but there's no one really else, is there? I mean, Murphy's not going to get much on this, and his passing has been always atrocious. We've already given off passes away so far this game. Neil just contribute to that like no tomorrow.
All right, drinks break is over. Dan Byrne with a throw in to Newcastle. Down our left, there, right, just inside the goal box. And everyone's just static. Nobody's moving around, really. And here we go. So it's with Joe Linton. Instantly under pressure. Does well to keep hold of it. So over the halfway line back. So we're going back again here. And then there's a forward play down the wing towards ASM here, but defended. And almost a chance to pick that up from Willock, but he doesn't quite get to it. And but Newcastle do have a back. ASM's been a little bit quiet this half. And Joe Linton just give the ball away again. But Newcastle win it back. Struggling to really make anything out of this. You can see every time Joe Linton gets the ball, he's swarmed.
Same with Bruno as well.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
See, that should have been a short ball to Bruno there. Instead, it was lofted down the wing to absolutely nobody. And now Brighton have the turnover, and they're coming back into Newcastle's half. Switch player down to the left to Trossard, presumably. And this has an overlap. Blokes in the box. Well defended off Shaw by the looks of things, but it goes out for a corner kick to Brighton. Just as easy as that, after all our huffing and puffing, getting nowhere. A few passes in Brighton on the other end having a corner.
It's not pretty. Anything but pretty.
Right, so the commentator just said Lamptey is about to come on.
Right.
And the Japanese guy as well, apparently. Still no sign of anything for Newcastle.
There's a comment there from...
Hold on, let's just see this corner. In goes the corner. Into the centre, but it's defended. There's a man at the edge of the box here. Brighton spread out to the other side, down our right. Down there, right, our left. Inside the pocket, it's spread loose and it's kicked towards goal. It's well saved by Nick Pope there, and it's gone for another corner, but that was very dangerous. Sonny March found in the middle of the box, right in front of goal. Just really has to guide it towards the box there, and it's fortunately far too close to Nick Pope, and he does it well enough to get a block on. Still very dangerous. Here comes another corner. Referee's having a word with bit of pantomime there. Wilson's giving the finger to the referee, like, hey, and the referee stops, puts his hands on his shoulders, like, what? Me? So he's having a bit of a word. All right, here we go. Here comes the corner. It's an outswinger. Almost went out of bloody play there. Easily defended. Brighton keep hold of it. And it's now down our right, their left. Newcastle doing well enough to force them back a bit here. That's good pressure off the ball at last from Newcastle, showing a bit of pressure off the ball there. Almost forcing Brighton into a mistake. And in fact, their ball forward was easily defended. And it's gone off for a throw into Brighton.
I think we need to get Miggy off because he's been absolutely enormous this second half.
Here comes Murphy and Longstaff.
Here we go. So just as we predicted, lads, Murphy and Longstaff. Probably the exact two people we said definitely didn't want to see coming on.
Yeah, there's Lamptey coming on.
Yeah, that could be deadly for us, or for them anyway, against us.
75 minutes. Good time to make a sub, do you think? A double sub?
Fresh legs, because I think we need
fresh legs.
Would you have done it sooner? I'm always one of those types of things you do it on 60 minutes. But Eddie Howe definitely isn't.
Yeah, I suppose that's why he's a football manager and we're not.
Could have been. Didn't want to be. So Trossard's gone off. I think he might have picked up a nick. That little nudge, I'm not sure. He looks a little bit funny. So the Japanese guy's Mitoma is on. With his K-pop haircut there. And Willock's gone off as well. For Longstaff, obviously. So
Maxi
was that Miggy off? Did I hear?
Maxi.
Oh, it's Maxi.
All right. Well, I suppose yellow card.
And Sam's just basically walked straight past Eddie Howe's outstretched hand there. Not happy about that sub at all.
Well, he shouldn't have gotten himself booked for a dive.
Yeah.
God, that dive was terrible.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Dex, mate. Like, we just don't have that quality and depth yet. Get our first team sorted first, and then hopefully build from there.
Throw into Newcastle. Question of Wilson pushing the bloke off the ball there. Halfway line, down Newcastle's right. 76 minutes, still 0-0. And Newcastle opt to go backwards. And then launch over the midfield and no doubt lose it. Yep. Lost it. Beep, 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 beep. Here, lads, this is what I'm going to do. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh.
And Dan Burns just been skinned, and Lamptey luckily couldn't get his foot on it. Craig, you made that noise there like as if he's going to score a goal. Didn't be doing that shit, though.
If you had brought that down,
I was waiting for it.
if he had controlled that properly, he would have been pretty much close to one-on-one, unless you couldn't see if there's any other defenders further back. But he would have absolutely been
down the
straight
wing,
on goal.
into the middle, easy as you like. He's got all the defenders in front of him, but just into space. There's 2 or 3 or 4 Brighton players in acres there, none of them marked. And Newcastle getting away with another one there, thanks to kicking the ball straight at Nick Pope, basically. Just not good enough.
Madison's just scored for Leicester.
Finding far too much space in the box.
Still time.
I feel like we're missing a really good game with the Arsenal-Leicester game.
Yeah, it sounds like a classic, doesn't it?
What's the score?
4-2.
4-2. I wonder if Jesus has got his hat-trick. He's in my dream team.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have Jesus at us at Newcastle. Anyway, balls with Brighton in their own half. Newcastle seem to have stepped up the tempo a little bit here, and they're trying to pressure off the ball. An example was just there where Bruno's snapped at the heels and he's managed to get the ball forward. And now, and that's been called as, what, offside or out for throw? It's one for throw. But that came, so Newcastle's all the way in Brighton's half now, all because of a bit of pressure from Bruno just to steal the ball off the toes, you know. Yeah, 22, I think I agree. I think we all agree with you. There's Chris Wood warming up. Yeah, I think, especially the way the game's gone, I'd certainly take a point. I'd much rather have an unbeaten start to the season than to lose this game and say, oh, well, it was a good performance. Because, first of all, it hasn't been a good performance. And it's been a long ball from Sanchez, and it's fallen kindly for Brighton in Newcastle's half. And they're doing well to maintain possession under a bit of pressure from Newcastle here. It's found Lamptey down on the right-hand side, or left. He's got 3 blokes in front of him, and he's just pinged it through the middle of them. It's keeping to the wing. It's whipped into the middle, easily defended by Newcastle. And Joe Linton's bringing it out. And he's spread it to the wing to Murphy. Wilson, rather. What's Wilson doing?
On your bike.
He's crossed it into the middle, and there's nobody there. Oh, my word, what a ball that was.
Why can't he get on the end of his own crosses?
Wilson's on the end of the wing, is on the wing there. I thought that was Murphy, but it's Wilson, and he does the perfect ball in the middle of the box for Wilson. But obviously he's down on the wing taking the bloody cross, isn't he? That's such a shame. Another ball lofted over to Miggy here, and he's been called offside, unfortunately, inside the box.
I'd like to see that one again. I think I was close.
I was pretty close.
Of course, they're doing that thing now where they're allowed to raise the flag straight away, aren't they? They don't have to fanny around waiting for 5 minutes until the player goes dead or whatever.
Yeah. Why was no one busting along to get in the middle there?
Wilson into the box. It's a beautiful ball. Beats the keeper. If only Wilson was on the end of that Wilson cross, that would have been a guaranteed goal. If he had
We used to say the same thing with Shearer, didn't we?
Yeah. Get on the end of his own crosses.
Yeah.
If Joe Linton can defend his own shot, I don't see why Wilson can't be on the end of his own cross. You know? He's only right. 80 minutes, 81 minutes just gone. And still 0-0. Ball is with Newcastle in their own half. And it's just been thrown away. And now Brighton have it. I suspect both teams would be happy with the point, you know. I mean, Brighton have had opportunities, obviously. They might be.
Before the game, they'd be happy with a point. But I think now, Brighton would be thinking, you know, we should have all 3 at this minute.
Brighton down the wing here. Mitoma, whatever it's called, has been playing a lovely 1-2 on his debut there, getting the crowd going. So lovely touches to Lobby's man and to play another man, and then followed up by providing an option here. Nice touch on his knee as well, but his second touch was awful, and Trippier was able to track back and clear it for a corner.
That was
But
Miggy.
that's a bit of a flash of... was it Miggy?
Yeah.
Bit of a flash of what we can expect from that guy. Corner to Brighton. Brighton fans suddenly making a noise. It's in the box. Good ball. And it's well defended, but it falls to Matom, whatever his name is. Still with him. Edge of the box. Dinks it through to Gross. It's in the box. It's squared. He's in Akers at the edge of the box. He kicks it. It's saved off Pope. It falls to the line, and it is cleared off the line again by Newcastle. Referee gets no call on his watch. It is another goal line clearance. Last-ditch goal line clearance. Beaten Nick Pope. And we have another man on the line to save the day. 92nd, 93rd minute.
Shaw this
Lovely
time.
dink. It's cut back. Again, I've been saying it all game. A cut back to the edge of the box in Akers. Dan Burn deflects it. Shaw, deflects off Shaw, hits Dan Burn, bounces off Pope, and Shaw's on the line to clear it. Oh, something like that anyway. Bloody hell, it was too fast. And Shaw's very, very coolly done that as well, you know. He's getting all down on there as well, and he dinks it a little bit with his knee, and then just hugs it with his right foot, as if like nothing's going on, under pressure as well. Well done, Shaw. You think they score that goal there, that's game over, don't you?
Yeah, you'd think like.
So Newcastle have the ball. Dangerous position, actually. Bruno. No, Miggy. Miggy's offering. Murphy passes it off the back of his foot.
Oh, shit.
And Newcastle's still pressing off the ball here, still in Brighton's half. And that's more like it. So
That's a lot better,
Brighton throw in, but that's more like it. Burn on Lamptey there to stop the forward movement, and it's a throw into Brighton in their own half. But we suddenly seem to be picking up a little bit more of the closing down idea. And so it's easier to defend the game when you're in the other opposition's half. That's probably going to be a free kick. No. Newcastle have the ball in their own half in the middle of the park, and it's lobbed over the top towards Miggy, by most of things. And it's fallen to
Tackle.
defended. And Brighton, Pascal Gross was about to run free, and Dan Burn has stopped him on the halfway line and somehow given away a free kick. But Brighton play on. It's with Lamptey down the wing. It's lobbed into the middle. He has to get rid of it. He does. It's still with Brighton, however. One or two Newcastle lads getting back here. Brighton down the wing, the left-hand wing for them, right-hand side for us. Inside the box, it's the Japanese guy. He's cut it back. It went forward, and it's inches away from the box, from the post, from Pascal Gross. And this is all on the back of this substitute from this Japanese lad here who's tearing us apart in the final 10 minutes of this game. 5 minutes to go, but he's been all over the place. He just went past Trippier like he's not even there. Trippier like he's not even there. That. Linked it back, and he's healed it.
Bam, that was a terrible miss. That one. That should have been first goal.
Wobbling. Yeah, we've got very lucky there. That's a few very close shots off the line as well in very quick succession for Brighton. I'm starting to think Brighton might be disappointed by not getting this win. And Brighton get a free kick from something. Off Wilson. Wilson getting absolutely nothing today. Off the ref, off anybody. Nothing. And the Brighton players just went and took the free kick and kicked it off the arse of Wilson. It wasn't 10 yards away, that's for sure. But the referee allowed play to go on, so I don't know what the referee's just let him take it again. Wilson's looking a bit like he's blown out of his arse.
Hopefully, Dex, that's what Dan Ashworth will bring in the future.
Foul throw to Brighton, I think. Foul throw by Brighton. Here comes Chris Wood. I've just said Wilson's blown out his arse. I guess Wood's going to come on for the last 5 minutes.
It might not be a bad thing actually, because at least he'd be able to like hold the ball up hopefully a bit better and bring players in. Even if he hasn't been scoring the goals, he's still been doing that, and that's exactly what we need, is just somebody to kind of bring the midfield into play a little bit more.
And Wilson's not even allowed to. He's been told to go off on the other side of the field for some reason. He must have been taking too long. Wilson's getting the
That's just what you add extra time on for.
Yeah.
Wilson's still having a go at the ref.
Hasn't been his day of the day. Hasn't been anyone's day of the day, to be honest.
He's had scraps again.
Yeah. Even Forrest, he was anonymous apart from his goal, really.
Yeah.
He was. So the ball's back in play. It's in Brighton's half. And Brighton moved into Newcastle's half and win a throw-in. Halfway through our half. Down Burns. Left-hand side, as often been the case today. And here's Brighton on the edge of the box. It's a lovely last-ditch tackle. Don't know by whom, but Newcastle tried to bring the ball out, but it's Miggy Wood crowded out by 4 Brighton players. Ball's moved forward, and Trippier Shaw takes the safe option and kicks it out for a throw-in midway through Newcastle's box down the right-hand side. 88 minutes, rather. Got to see this game out now, haven't we? Got to see this game out now.
You'd think.
Hopefully. If we get out of this, then with a point, then it's a very lucky point, but I'll take it all day.
Yeah.
Newcastle cleared that throw-in comfortably, but it's into no man's land. It's Brighton's possession again. And the keeper kindly kicks it straight out of play. So lads, it's getting close to 90 minutes. Ball's out of play. Who is your man of the match, Craig, first?
Pope, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always worrying when your keeper's the man of the match, but that's for me as well.
Yeah. It's never a good sign, is it, when your keeper's your best player on the pitch? But I think that's a hat-trick for Pope there. Popey, he's been our player of the game. He's kept us in it with some beautiful point-blank saves. And Newcastle are playing dangerously here at the back, down the left again. And Joe Linton's just been blocked off the ball, doesn't get anything for it. Bruno picks it up, I think. Is it Bruno? No, it's Wood. Now it's Bruno. And he's got to run it. And he finds it to Trippier, who cuts it inside in the middle. Can Newcastle win this at the end here? Is Miggy down the wing, I think, or Murphy possibly? Miggy's trying to make something happen here. He's dinked the ball up to Longy, who thought about touching the ball and then let the Brighton player kick it out for a corner kick. We're into the last 10 seconds of the 90.
Is it written in the cards? That is a corner to win it.
Deal if we get anything from this.
I said a 90-minute corner to win it.
Is this Chris Wood's time to shine, or is it going to be Dan Burn? I didn't give a shit who goes in off.
Sven Votman,
Trippier with a corner. We are into 90 minutes. There is 4 minutes at a time. It's long. It's easily defended. It's gone off for a throw into Newcastle though. And I'm quite happy to see the ball just sit in Brighton's half as long as possible.
Aye, absolutely.
Up go the away fans, I think. And Newcastle do well to win another throw-in right next to the corner flag off Veltman.
Just keep it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 91st minute already. Newcastle have lost it. Brighton try to bring it up. and still maintain possession somehow, even though they're under pressure there. And Newcastle pull everybody back, give Brighton all the space in the world to walk out their own half, which does my tits in. They're now into Newcastle's half, down our left again. They've pounded that left-hand side, haven't they?
They have.
And still down Newcastle's left, their right. Still with Brighton. 92nd minute. So Brighton's down onto the right-hand side now, and it's well defended by Shaw.
Did you get a
Shaw's
card
picked
for
up
that?
the card for picking up the ball a little bit, like every player does.
Soft. That is soft.
Jesus Christ. He carried it, what, 10 yards and rolled it back?
Ball's in play. It's with Brighton, and it's in our box, and it's pulled back. And Joe Linton has to get rid of it. He does, but it's only to a Brighton player, and he's pushed them back a bit. But they're still down the right hand side here. This Japanese kid is brilliant, and a rare lapse of concentration from Brighton as Pascal Gross lets the ball go right past his foot, and it is a throw in to
Take
Newcastle
that.
in line with the box. It is the 93rd minute. 92 minutes and 45 seconds. And trying to see what's going to happen here. So it's thrown in. It's up the pitch. It's launched all the way down our right arm wing. Straight to Brighton, however. And it's out for throw into Newcastle. So this is ideal. This is exactly what you want. End of the game. 0-0. Something to hang on to. 40 seconds, 50 seconds to go, and we have the throw in midway through through Brighton's half, down our right hand side with Trippier to take it. In goes the throw up. Trippier using up as much time as possible. It's off the head of the Brighton player, and it's gone off for a corner. Nope, it's been kept in. Away fans screaming for a corner. Nothing doing by the ref or the linesman. It's with Sanchez, who eventually kicks it. And we are into the last 10 seconds of allowed time. And,
Come on, Miggy.
Miggy wins the ball in Newcastle's half. We're into 94th minute, and he runs it down the wing. And he's doing his best to keep possession and run down the clock. He's lost the ball eventually, but we are into 94 minutes and 10 seconds. The referee hasn't looked at his watch just yet. It's with Brighton at the back. I'm not sure where all this extra time's coming from. No, this is for Wilson. Come on, ref, what the hell are you doing?
0-0 full time.
94 minutes, 30 seconds. It is Newcastle 0, Brighton 0 at the Amex Stadium. And
Bloody hard work, that one.
It was.
Jesus.
It was a well-earned point, though.
Oh, look, I'm happy with that all day. There was no way that Brighton deserved to win that. They were all over us for the whole game. But
They really were.
it's a point away from home. We're sitting third in the table at the moment. I'm happy enough with that.
Yeah, 4 points after 2 games.
Yeah. Make the most of it because we're going to get smashed next week.
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
Well,
there's another clean sheet as well, which is a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clean sheets aren't something we come across very often. We Newcastle, but no, it's a hard-fought point, one that we all would have taken at the start of the game, I reckon.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's keeps her above Brighton in the table as well, on goal difference at least.
So we are sticking with Nick Pope as our man of the match for that one.
Definitely.
Yeah, easy. No question.
Yeah. No, he's won us a point in that game. Easy.
I'll wait and see if we can get some end of game stats here, because I think even though it was half ease at half time, I think Brighton have really tipped the scales in that second half there. It started off a little bit like Newcastle might be going somewhere, but Brighton just kept the ball so well. Newcastle whenever they got a turnover, just gave the ball back far too cheaply. And kept making the same mistakes at the back as well. Kept leaving acres of space on the edge of the box. Brighton just kept on putting a man there. And time and time again, the ball found that man and it went straight towards the keeper. And as you said, we were pretty damn lucky to come away without conceding in that game there. Newcastle did have the ball in the goal in the first half. Unfortunately, ruled out for, what was it, offside?
Yeah. Oh, no, it was the
High foot.
high foot from Wilson.
That's right, yes. So that was from Wilson, high foot to bring the ball
Still
under
no
control.
idea how that's the thing.
And he kind of scuffed the shot, but it did find the back of the net. The keeper basically just stood there and let it go in as well. So it would have been pretty harsh if that was given. But I think that was basically as close as we got, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not too many clear-cut chances, that's for sure.
So Nick Pope, man of the match. Kieran Trippier got a bit better in that second half, I think it's fair to say. Shaw did some useful things. Here's some stats. So it still ends 51% possession to 49 in Brighton's favour. 6 shots to 3. 4 shots on target to just that 1 from Newcastle. 163 passes to 157, about the same. 115 to 119 successful passes, about the same. 3 corners to 0. That's not right, is it?
Yeah, I think that was the half-time stats have put back up again.
The daft shites.
I haven't got the full-term ones yet. But on the balance of the game, Brighton should have won it. We got a lucky point. Was a tough
away
game.
from home from a team that likes to keep the ball and to pressure off the ball. Points not too bad. I know it's sometimes funny to say it against teams that have the name Brighton, but they're a bloody good team, Brighton.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise to beat Man United.
Do you think we made them look better than they were as well because we were off the pace too?
Well, are we off the pace because they are so well drilled and because they keep the ball so well from us and because they pressurize us so well off the ball? Or are we off the pace just because, it's hot and we're too far close to the equator or something? I mean, I personally think
take it as it is. It's an away game. It's following up a decent performance at home, away to, a very good side who's just hammered Man United because, everyone's blaming Man United for being bad. Maybe Brighton are actually that good.
Yeah.
They are that good. Yeah,
give them some credit.
So let's give them some credit. Let's give our lads some credit for keeping a clean sheet, fighting to the death. Nick Pope saved us a point, definitely, but we're gonna play better than this and get beat this season. I guarantee it. And we're gonna probably play really crappy some games this season and snatch 3 points. It's just how it goes. So let's take it as it is. 4 points from 2 games. I'm happy with that as a start to the season. It's not all doom and gloom. And as Jay said, maybe this is a good wake-up call for the owners that we are missing that little bit of extra quality up front.
Let's just see some of the final scores coming in here. Some of these games are still underway, apparently. But Arsenal 4-2 to Leicester. Obviously 0-0 Brighton Newcastle. 4-0 win for City against Bournemouth. Southampton have managed to pull it to 2-2 against Leeds. And Wolves and Fulham have also played out a 0-0. And the late kickoff is Brentford against Man United. So let's have a look at the table. That's kind of pointless, but there we are. Moving up a spot, actually, from I think we were 4th last time, we've moved to 3rd now.
We were.
Securing that Champions League position.
We're only 2 points up top.
I'm going to have to start renewing our passports, mate, at this rate.
We are,
so only Arsenal and Man City with the unbeaten games so far. Obviously, there's still games to play tomorrow and tonight as well. But look, I'd much rather be 3rd top than, where West Ham are, or, more likely where Everton are, for example. Everton are in a world of trouble. Absolute world of trouble.
So could Man United be if they get beat off Brentford.
And Brentford aren't like a bad team either. So the Man United
as well.
Going through an awful lot of shit at the minute. But yeah, early days, of course, but it's always nice to see Newcastle 3rd top there. As Bobby Robinson used to say, end the season now, ref. End the season now. Yeah. We'll take that 3rd place. We're not greedy. Didn't want 1st or 2nd. That's all right. We'll take 3rd. Thank you very much. All right, boys. I think we'll call it a day there. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks to everybody in the chat who joined us and gave us your questions in the comments. Always enjoy that engagement. Keep an eye on our socials on Twitter. We will announce the next watch along whenever that is. Probably, God knows. I mean, God, it could be next week for all I know. The way it's been at the minute. But we'll let you know on our social channel. Keep an eye on that, and website at tuneunder.com. And if you wouldn't mind, please give us a like and subscribe on YouTube too. But that'll do for us. Thank you very much, Craig. Thank you very much, Mark. It's bedtime.
Definitely. I'm off to Kip.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. Right. Cheers, lads. Thanks,
Cheers, lads.
everybody.
Take it easy, guys.
See ya.